All right, it asked me to leave the meeting, which is the perfect time for me to crank it up and say, welcome to the Fireside Fables, where we're going to do a thing. That's right. Just like my facial hair. It is here permanently.
Here to stay.
Amen to that.
Yes, yes. I'm done with baby face.
Jared, I keep thinking he's going to get out his Three Musketeers outfit. And...
No. Doc Holliday. We're going for Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday. Absolutely.
Okay. No, that's more.
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, that's one of the other ones.
I'm your Huckleberry, Jeff.
He will be your Huckleberry.
Okay. Oh, great. We shouldn't timestamp this early, should we? But that's
no.
That's a pretty sweet deal. I'd take it if I were you.
Okay.
You could go for some Arthur Morgan there. You know?
Yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a little bit.
It looks good. Anyway,
all right.
Both has tuberculosis.
If you're just listening, that Jared looks pretty svelte, or not.
You are seriously missing out.
A little. He's rather dapper.
Yeah, he's pretty fly for a mustached guy. All right.
Remember Dapper Dan? Yep.
Speaking of fun puns and words.
Yes.
Yeah, they're good. Excellent transition. Excellent.
Flawless.
Now you know why Brendan brought me in to do the talks episodes.
That's right. It's because Andrew is a friggin' professional. That's why.
He knows what to do.
One of us better be.
And so does Sean.
Yes.
It's that time.
Yeah. It's that time.
Cue the music.
Go.
Music.
Oh, there we go.
Oh boy. Which one to use? You guys used up all my other jokes.
For those but that was before we started recording. So
before we started recording, they used up all my jokes.
Non-canon.
So we're going on the fly here.
Non-canon.
Off camera.
That's okay. It didn't actually happen. There was no recording. Got it. Okay.
Never happened.
That's why we timestamp things.
That's right. All right, which one to use? I've been deliberating all day between two of them, so here we go.
Well,
I think we got time for two.
Yeah, just do two.
No. I want to save the other one.
Okay. Oh, is that good?
Oh.
Wow.
We have like a cereal.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go. Did you guys hear about the new automated shovel?
No.
It's a groundbreaking invention.
Just like the last one?
Pretty much.
All right, Sean, I can hardly wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Isn't an automated shovel a backhoe?
No, that's not automatic.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's not get dirty. Welcome to the Fireside Fables.
Oh no!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
When Santa laughs behind your back. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Either way, we love Sean and his chuckle mustering capabilities. Sean, you the goat. Thank you for being here. Woo, fellas.
You never disappoint.
Been a second, because we had to take a week off this last week because, the moon came between the sun and things happened, and one of us almost got raptured. But all that said, we're here. We made
Only
it.
Almost.
Only almost.
I was like
I need
halfway
to change
through the
music
portal.
now. Portal.
and then they
looked back and he saw us
Oh
cheerfully.
gosh, get out, leave.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, Andrew,
There seems to have been some sort of
take
clerical error.
Yeah.
one went, not today.
No.
So, either way, if you were not raptured, then welcome. You're certainly welcome here with us, Misfits. We're glad to have you. Thank you so much for tuning into the 9th episode of the Fireside Fables. Guys, what happened?
Almost double digits, baby.
That's right. Takes a lot longer to get to triple. Trust me.
It really does.
Believe you me. All right. Well, let's jump into a quick recap
Not
here.
10 times as long.
Yeah, just about.
Man,
I mean,
that's
if
a
you
good
sit down and do
math.
the math, it's pretty decent.
That's
All right. Last time on the Fireside Fables, we got into some more hijinks down below Castle Dusk in the actual catacombs that exist down there, and fought quite a bit of eight-legged freaks and managed to survive, one of which actually could phase in and out of material existence, much to Adam's chagrin. He didn't even know that monster stat block existed. Nope. So it's always fun. You never forget your first. Either way, the group eventually secured this. It was kind of an underground chamber that was there with a large portcullis and an apartment, actually. They went inside and began to poke around and discovered that there were personal effects inside that seemingly belonged to potentially higher-ups within the Murder of Woes. One in particular within a safe, which they were able to crack with the help of Kara, the Drangolin, quite literally a dragon pangolin. It's as adorable as you think.
There's like 12 rolls against that safe.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, well, it took her like actually digging it out from the earth in the wall to get to the access panel in the back to help open. And even then, you still had to pry it open with a crowbar. So that being said, inside was a note, and in this note, the musings of Mantis, and pretty much confirming for the group after a little bit of a conversation, and eventually going back up into the office of the Lady Steward, Janelle Stewart, finding an old journal of Andrix, actually denoting all of his experiences that he actually wrote down. In his hand, his script outside of the walls as he began his investigation into the problems that, the security problems that faced the city. With the torn out page being a perfect fit, the group was able to piece together that Andric was actually Mantis, apparently staging his own death, paying people off in order to make this reality come to be, and apparently planning a coup that has been 2 years in the making, at least, which is where we now find ourselves standing inside Janelle Stewart's office as she is looking at the book, this not having clicked for her yet. But all of you sharing that look together, and this dragon pangolin, which goes over to the fireplace and just curls up into a little ball and starts to purr. And she goes,
well, I mean, a large size ball.
It's a big ball.
Well, I mean, yes, but according to her normal size, it's much smaller. She's compact when she needs to be. But Janelle is very confused at the moment, but looks at the rest of you, also to the dark / white knight that is there, his helm down, covering his face. She goes, "There weren't this many of you when you went down, so
it's quite complicated."
Okay,
yes.
All right. So long as you trust them, I'm fine with it.
Turpin will go over and just kind of lean back in the little nook, or whatever you call that, of Kara, and just kind
of, and she purs.
I don't see the problem.
Warm. She's warm.
Yes. It's like,
it's nice.
She transforms into a beanbag.
You're right.
A beanbag.
I'm imagining like the weird,
a lot with the shield scales.
Right.
The weird like underbelly of like an armadillo.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Almost kind of furry.
I like it.
Yeah.
I
was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but
careful, Turpin. Those carry leprosy.
She's fine.
Wow.
She's fine.
Like, ask good lady, what is the status of the city since we've been gone?
I'm glad you asked. Actually, there's quite a bit for us to talk about. Please let us go out into the forward operating base outside. And she kind of turns and begins to lead you out into the courtyard itself. And with that, well, let me change the map up here.
To the FOB.
That's right. Very, very important stuff.
The fob.
Okay. All right. Let's see. New share.
Now, does Janelle have we had a chance while we're walking? I mean, she saw us with the diary, right?
Oh yeah, she saw you piece that in there.
But we haven't told her yet.
Well, she knows that it's Andric's journal
Okay.
and
got it.
saw you unfold something that is the perfect fit.
Got it. Got it.
All right, let's refresh here. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for telling me what's new in maps. All right. So,
Ooh.
as you come into the FOB, you can see multiple individuals that are standing around a large table with a map of Kywind sprawled out, and you find yourselves... Actually, here, let's go ahead and get your token. Here we go. Where'd it go?
It's very small inside.
Oh, it's
very
of
tiny,
the-
yeah.
the
Very
electronic-
small.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's-
We can zoom. We can zoom.
All right. So, Phoenix Company. Yeah, why don't we zoom in a little bit here? Here in Castle
Okay.
Dusk, presently, some of the guards kind of stand at attention, and the Lady Janelle, the Lady Steward, she kind of looks at you and says, "Much has happened, seemingly within the last 3 hours or so. It seems as though multiple of these factions have decided to take up arms in their own defenses. Most of them led by the, you guessed it, the civilian council that saw fit to pardon you and condemn Sardanium. That being said, what you're looking at here is what we believe the current status to be. You'll see here," and she points, here, I'll get my pointer to do that at the same time. You'll see here, all of that in pink is us, Castle Dusk, the Windwall Guard, and the government of Kywind that still remains, those that are loyal. Next to us in the yellow, we can zoom out a little bit here. In the yellow is the Dusk Fair. Many mercenaries and tradesfolk, guild artisans have taken up arms to protect themselves. We're not exactly sure where we stand with them yet. Towards the south, far below them, are the Duskside battalions. As you know, the Duskside battalions are led by Commander Dane Keradir, the elven warrior, the commander. He is very, very intelligent, cunning, highly skilled in martial arts and the art of warfare. I have no idea where we stand with them. The Temple of Dusk apparently has been waiting for this day for a long time, prepping for whatever this is, and they have taken up their own defenses. Surprisingly enough, one of the largest of factions, as you have rooted out their name, the Murder of Woes. Many criminals and turncoats from the Windwall Guard take up the Murder of Woes. The old theater district, in fact, you'll find that our district is cut in half along this line here. There's no wall that separates us. In fact, it is a very intense area of fighting right now, as we try and claim positioning, forwarding our lines, our advances, but so are the brigands and ex-guards. Up in the Dawn side, we have the Temples of Dawn, who have claimed quite an area for themselves as well. And then
The more you describe the divisions among the city, Turpin goes from leaning back to like really kind of leaning forward, really like, oh, so this is bad. Yeah,
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
She points next to the Dawnside Brigade. You've already met Yulf Rockturner, the general that commands the Dawnside Brigade. I do not know what his alliance is currently with Dane Keradir, but if the two were to work together to attack from the outside in, I don't know how long the city would last. But I also don't know what that would do in terms of our exterior defenses. This is truly a precarious situation. Lastly, the Duskmine shafts down in the southwestern part of the city. They are in an interesting position as well. And then lastly, we do have one small district that is held out, apparently still claiming to be loyal to us. Either way.
Where is that?
Down-
far side.
Oh, got it.
Southwest.
Yeah.
South.
A single
West,
district
southwest.
there.
Yeah.
It is up in the Dawn side. It is the only Dawn side district that has remained loyal to the Kywindian government in Castle Dusk. So, she kind of looks around at the rest of you and says, seeing as we don't really know where we stand with most any of these factions, save for the murder of Woes, which seem to have been targeting us most primarily, I have most of my guard focused on making sure that that line does not break. It is going to be a tough line to cross, and will be hard fought to gain any kind of foothold beyond what we already have. So, I do not know where to begin, and I will accept any recommendations that you would have to offer. Do I send you in to fight? Do I send you out to begin diplomacy, that we might understand where we could gain some support and potentially merge with other groups, other leaders? I don't know.
My
What
lady, if I could,
Sure.
would you happen to know whereabout on the map the Rearguard Tavern is?
Rearguard Tavern.
Like down here, right?
The Rearguard Tavern is actually, it's actually right here.
Oh, it's
Can you
inside.
zoom out? Can you zoom out a little bit, Brendan?
Maybe not that much.
There we go. Perfect.
So it's in the Temple of Dusk area.
Yes, it is in the Temple of Dusk area.
Well, strategically, I'm thinking our back is up against the Dusk Fair.
Yeah, and that's also where the aqueduct comes in.
Correct. It is a vital part of the city. I think that's a brilliant point, Cal.
Very much so. I have
And
not had many poor encounters with Eliza Fairchild. It is possible that you, as agents of the Steward, might be able to gain some sort of relationship with her. I don't know.
Well,
it would be a tremendous boon for both the government if we could secure that district and the commerce and the wealth that comes out of it. Our clearest point is if we're able to broker a peace between the government of Kywind and the merchants, the sooner we can get the merchants to join in, the sooner commerce will continue.
Indeed. And what with economy or commerce lines being shut down, if trade routes are not taking place, the city, we're in trouble. We were
So we
fortunate
should-
enough to gain the farming district that we did, but
mhm.
most of the farmland, well,
Is
can
under
see.
the murder of Woes.
claimed by the murder of Woes.
Well, I must
And a
admit,
good bit of it was on fire, was it not?
No, it's
Yes, it seems as though the rain has helped with that effort. I believe that was actually gnolls that were placed within the farming district. It seems as though certain plans had to be bumped up ahead of schedule, and the two forces clashed, which was to our benefit and allowed us to secure enough of the blocks away from Castle Dusk that they are not literally on our doorstep, but they're close.
Yeah.
what is word of Temple of Dusk? That is selfishly one of our areas that we need to go to.
Well, I mean, Twyla Shadowhand is an enigma to most,
Mm-hmm.
but she voted in favor of both you and Commander Danium.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of that as well.
Well, that means both these women are the ones that are adjacent to each other, and then to us. So
Yes. Now, Eliza voted
Again,
unfavorably towards Danium, but favorably
For-
towards...
right.
So, pardon. Would the rest of you give me and my agents a moment alone?
Yes, and we have urgent information for you as well.
Kind of
so.
nod and step
Yeah.
outside.
Yep.
And she kind of watches to make sure that they all leave, and she says,
Mhm.
we moved out here in quite a hurry, but you found something that was a perfect match towards
Mhm.
the captain's...
Yeah, we know who the Mantis is.
the Mantis.
The one who's been pulling all the strings that we alluded to in the trial. It's confirmed that we suspect that Andric faked his own death and has been manipulating all of this.
I'm sorry. Andric Kane?
I'll take out the journal and show her the
She
passage.
she takes a look and sees now the little bit that is fitted in perfectly, and she kind of shakes her head and almost in disbelief she stares at it, and if this is true, then
This might also be our best bargaining chip with some of the other city leaders to join the city, to join with you in the true government.
she closes the book and holds the journal back out to you and says, "Do you wish to hold on to this?"
Yes.
Then she hands it back and lets go. Very well. I cannot believe that Andric Kane is the one that is laying siege to his own city.
Well, you can see that he did his study well.
Yes,
He
it
just
seems
came
as though
to-
he knew exactly where to attack, where to
yeah,
weaken. I mean, look at how quickly this city has devolved into madness and chaos.
Well, it took him 2 years to set this up, so it wasn't a light switch overnight. And
No,
I
but
suspect that our involvement has already upset the best laid plans that they had for it to go a lot smoother than it has. So,
well, then thank Nomos that you're here.
also, my lady, I would send a few guards down into the catacombs after us to watch the portcullis. There was several people, along with some spiders.
One really
we managed
big
to close.
bull
Yeah,
cow thing. It's dead now, but I mean, it was,
Minotaur.
Oh,
The word you're
That-
looking for
yeah,
is
A
that-
minotaur.
it's really
Yeah.
big.
so we managed to close the gate that was sectioning off, but you may wish to post some guards there just to be sure that nothing else happens.
I will choose from a hand-selected few.
Just
Just-
in case.
Yes,
the back
well,
door, you know.
most of the guards do not know of its existence, so this will have to be
Very careful, I understand.
carefully planned out. But thank you for telling me, and thank you more so for safeguarding it, protecting it, clearing it, and coming
Finding
back safely.
How-
it really was a good stroke of genius. It seems like that's where Andric was staying for some time in those catacombs.
Right beneath the castle.
Last place anyone would look. Not that anyone was looking for him. All the
No.
evidence points to that he paid off the coroner and paid off the wife of the criminal that was framed for his death and everything. So,
Genius.
yeah. No one would suspect.
No. I mean, my father took his death very hard.
Mhm.
He always liked Andric. He always liked Andric.
And we just don't know how his brother, where he lies in all this.
Ties into it. Yeah.
Yes. And do you know, well, how have the derelicts behaved? Those been gone.
Most of them have been resting within the makeshift hospital that we've set up. Colton, Brennea, and Tamala, all of them are resting. The automaton is with you.
correct.
Yes, I am no longer a derelict, but now a phoenix. Excellent. Well, thank you for your help so far. And your name, Howitzer. You may call me assistant to the captain, Howitzer. Yes,
He
assistant
takes
to the
everything
Captain
very
Howitzer.
literally.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm not offended by that, but thank you for your help. The last one, his name is escaping me for the time being, but the other Dracokin, brother to Brennea, he, Dragar or something along those lines. Anyway, he has actually joined in with some of the defense of the front line between us and the murder of Woes. So,
Good for him.
Well, in their regard, do you know the name Marjorie Blunt?
Marjorie Blunt. Should I?
They were said to have been hired by. She hired the derelicts. And
to
then
my understanding, they were actually appointed by the small council to go and begin an investigation. But I wonder if Marjorie happened to be the liaison between the two.
Perhaps.
Interesting.
I don't know for sure. Complete speculation on my part.
There's another character we're on the watch for that we don't know their identity or their true affiliation, but And I'll describe sorry, Hazel to
Hazel. You're talking about Hazel.
Hazel Balladley.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Hazel Balladley well.
Can you tell us anything about her?
She belongs to a sect, a very special select group of guards known as the Dust Guard.
Yeah, she told us
They
that.
are they are just as well kept as the catacombs beneath Castle Dusk. Only the stewards, the governor, and the captains of the guard would know about them.
Do you trust her?
I did, but she hasn't been seen in 3 months.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh,
No, well, we
I'm
saw
not.
her like 2 days ago.
She's the one who sent us on our way.
Seriously.
Yeah, we thought she might be.
Did she give you...
the-
was it her orders or someone else's?
her
He said it was the
orders.
commanders.
On behalf of the
Mandadanian.
commander. Yeah.
And
Do you think that
So-
he's in it with Andric? Do you think that the two of them are working together?
That remains
We
to be
don't
seen.
know.
yes,
I want to believe in the commander, but at the same time, so much has been thrown into suspect with just the revelation of who the Mantis is. Andric
you're not
himself
kidding.
might actually not even be alive, and someone else might be carrying on the mantle of the Mantis.
I suppose
carry out the
anything is
plan.
possible.
well, Commander Kane could have hired us in hindsight to be the Fall Guys, just as he did the Derelicts, or the Derelicts were hired to be the Fall Guys. So,
Potentially.
but we suspect her because this creature, this beautiful creature that you see with us, when has a, what would you say, Turpin? How would you describe the reaction to a redheaded lady?
Negative.
Yeah, not very nice, I'd say. She's not trusting of Miss
So
Hazel.
what she had said for
Right.
for the keen mind feature there for Elias
Mhm.
is that she could smell fear on others when the redheaded woman showed up.
Right.
It's also entirely possible that Hazel simply lied about being there on the commander's behalf.
I suppose that's possible. Hazel and Andric were lovers.
Yeah, suspected,
Okay.
but did not know.
She took his death very hard.
Hmm
Uh-huh.
Well,
Or
maybe
did she?
maybe they're afraid of her.
Now I'm
for-
questioning that myself, Turpin. Yes.
Ah, yay.
But maybe the fear is maybe they fear her for good reason. Maybe this isn't a fear of one of wrath, but maybe of, I don't know. But why would she be around them? That doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah, I think the next
If what
time
you
we
say
meet
is
her, we
true
must
about
be
Andric,
cautious.
then it is possible that in order to lay low, he had to send some sort of proxy.
And who else would he trust more than?
Hazel Badley.
His
Yeah.
child. Oh no, yeah.
Well, that's a good point too.
but would he frame his brother? Would he see his brother go down so hard?
If he was willing to have himself murdered, I don't
if his
know
brother
what
was
he's
in on it as well, you know,
Well,
It's possible.
Commander Dania might not even be in prison right now, for all we know.
He might not be. The prison is still within our control.
Okay, well that's good to know.
Well, why? What is the word on Rayoa?
We have not seen head or tail of Rayala Merriworth. There's very little.
Well, she was implicated in so much of this that
It seems as though almost all the High Council was.
Right.
Whether or not they were involved with the Mantis is another question, but I don't know.
well, a record keeper would be a valuable ally for Mantis.
Yes.
The only one that was relatively clean was. Never mind, I lied.
Rayala was quite the religious individual, though. She very much so prescribed to the Dawn.
Yeah, she might have fled to the Dawn
Yeah.
district then, when he sent
suppose
forth
it's
the
possible.
summons.
Forgive me, gentlemen, but I do think that we are counting our chickens here somewhat. There are people out in
Yeah.
the streets actively fighting and dying.
It is true. There's much conjecture here, and I suppose the original question still stands. Where do you think you're going to be most valuable and most successful?
If I could
am
suggest,
looking for wins.
if I could suggest a course of action, I agree that Eliza Fairchild is a top priority. Securing her loyalty and her district's loyalty to your cause would be quite the gain. However, if I remember correctly, and Brendan, you tell me if this is accurate.
Right.
But did I get the sense that she voted? She voted for us because that's kind of the way the wind was blowing, and then voted against the other one.
That would have needed an insight check at the time.
Okay, so assuming that, I think having the most chance of success would be showing a strong hand. That is why I suggest that we first focus on the Temple of Dusk. If we can secure Twyla's allegiance first,
And we can come to Eliza.
then we
and
can come to
stronger-
Eliza with a much stronger.
Is the path open to us to go? We'd have to go through the
Well,
Dusk Fair district.
If you look here, and I'll.
She
and
kind of
we-
smiles. She
Yeah.
says, "No, it is not. But have any of you ridden chumas before?"
Yes. As a matter of fact, we have. Well, some of us have.
What's a chuma?
A
It's a
chuma, it's a very large, short distance flight, mostly in its descent.
Like an
Very much
ostrich?
So,
More
yes,
of a chicken.
but more,
But
yes,
bigger.
much bigger and very, very quick. We use them for mounts here in Seikei, on the western side more so than anywhere else. They are very useful for transporting very quick.
Cal just listened to everyone say like an ostrich but bigger, so he's like imagining an elephant-sized chicken.
No, not,
Not
It's
that
like-
big. Not that
not
big.
quite
Oh,
that
gosh.
I
No,
can
but
tell you that owlbears find them delicious.
Yes.
they
Oh.
do. But they also can outrun owlbears if given the opportunity
yes.
in open plain. Yes. So, that being said,
And
I
become
do have-
Chuma Raiders?
I do have a spare set of chumas that I could give to you. Now, granted, there are only 5 or no, I could lend you. You were looking for someone in that district, were you not?
Correct.
We are.
Mhm.
Yes.
I have 8 that I could give you.
I've already got my ride. You guys go ahead and have the chickens.
That would be very
With all
generous
due
of you.
respect, Turpin, that creature is not going to be nearly as quick as what the chumas are going to be in order to get you where you need to go quickly. My idea is to have them jump off the wall
Oh.
into the farming district. They can descend slowly, land, and then take off through the farming district to then reach the farming district that is owned by the Temple of Dusk,
Dusk.
if you're
I
wishing
see.
to parlay with them.
I see.
Well, that sounds
It's kind
exciting.
of open field there, it looks like, huh?
They would be very quick and hard to take out.
You know, we've done a bunch of insane stuff today already, so let's
What's one
why
roll?
not jump off a wall?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Should we sleep first or should we?
Sleep has been
It's-
a luxury.
it's
we
been
had a
lo-
short rest.
Yeah.
We had a short rest, but
I don't.
What
I,
time?
yeah.
What time is it currently, Brendan?
It's like 12:45, 1 in the morning.
Okay.
I think we need to keep going until.
Mm-hmm.
How are we doing with
maybe we get there and maybe we can rest there.
maybe?
Assuming they're friendly.
If you can secure, if
Yeah.
you can secure an alliance, a relationship, that very well
Well,
might be
we have-
possible.
We happen to know a tavern owner in the area.
Yes, we do.
There you go. Granted, I hope that there would be some way that you can communicate back with me, but as of now, I do not know how we would do that.
Well, Lady Stewart, I would suggest focusing your forces to try and see if we could take back that sliver of land in between the district that we control and this murder of woes.
It will be hard fought,
It will be
seeing
hard
as
fought.
Mhm.
most
And I don't
most of their
suspect any-
efforts, I believe the headquarters is actually the theater district. So we have 2 headquarters within a single wall district, which means that this is going to be the bloodiest of the fights.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't suspect anything, but if we could secure a decently safe passage in between the 2 districts,
Well-
we would be all the stronger. But
But if
I
we
agree.
that
take,
might come later.
if the Temple of the Dusk region, we manage to gather that, we start to flank them. So
Yes.
That's what I was starting to think.
yeah,
If you can begin to secure alliances and potentially even find out where Andric is planning on attacking next, I can handle the murder of Woe's front.
what is the Dusk side worries me. What the Dusk side battalions down there? What do you think of that district? You said
I don't know.
Dane Caladir was.
Dane Caradir is very formidable, but he's been
Not an
men of
idiot.
people. No, not an idiot by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
Quite the opposite. He's very capable.
We've gotten the
Very
hiccups.
capable.
Oh no.
Quick, guys, I'm going to go hold my breath for 12 minutes.
I'll just mute you. Not kidding.
All good.
That will definitely cure it, Andrew.
Yeah. It'll cure a lot of other things, like life.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, man. Mr. Anderson, I can't stand it in here. It's a virus.
It's the smell.
and tox.
All right. So she kind of takes
Okay.
this moment to look at you and say,
Alright.
I think you're going to be best suited for this as a smaller group, quicker, quieter.
Okay.
For the new individuals that you have garnished the blessings of, I suppose. I don't really know how to really even talk about this right now, but to you, Mr. Knight, Garrick, a pleasure. Howie, and the creature here.
Her name is Kara.
Kara. Lovely,
Kara.
lovely.
Yes, she is.
I can show them down to the chambers that I gave to you.
Hmm.
Let them rest.
Well, Elias, what do you think about Garrick helping out guard the chamber off the going
Well,
down into where we just came?
Oh,
from?
down
could
into the
send-
catacombs.
Yes.
We could send the 3 of them down into the catacombs to hold it
I
until we
don't- I
return
don't
back.
know,
since
Garrett.
Very well.
I don't know, Garrick. Are you well rested?
I'm feeling capable to the task. So
It would be a good place for
Try
them
to stay
both
alert.
rest, and that way Lady Stewart wouldn't have to send any guards down herself. And
that is genius. Thank you. That allows me time to actually plan out who I would like to send down. So,
Yep.
Sir Garrick is what I will call you. Oh, the titles, please. No, Sir. I'm calling you Sir Garrick. Thank you for your help so far. You,
please
assistant
stop.
to the
Don't
captain,
deny-
Howitzer, and
Don't
also
Reject a night. Don't reject the knighthood, Garrick. It might come with a tax break.
Yeah.
if the three of you do not mind to stay down in the two and creature, no offense, Turpin, but if the 3 of them do not mind to stay down and guard the catacombs, that would be a tremendous blessing to me. I would rest easier.
I think that would be good. I think it would be a good place for us to start.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even an apartment there for them to rest in, right outside the portcullis. So
That's very
That
true.
is true.
That's very true.
Yeah. Cal, you're gonna have to give Howie some direction. And Turpin, you're gonna have to let Mara know.
Kara. Is her
Kara.
name.
Sorry, what did I say? Mara.
And-
Kara.
all right,
I'll
Howie.
do what I can. I can't like talk to her again for at least a while. So
Perhaps Cal, if you temporarily put Howitzer under
I
Garrett's
was
command.
just getting ready to start.
Yep.
So I said, Howie, I'm still
Yes,
the
sir.
captain, but my assistant to the captain, Sir Garrick here, follow his orders in the meantime until I return.
Howitzer looks at Garrick and goes, "Hello, Sergeant Sir Garrick." Yes, for the time.
You have to be very thorough with your orders. He will follow them to a T.
I will do my best.
I believe in you. I'm sure you guys will be fast friends.
It'll be fine.
Very, very, very well.
There's a conversation I'd love to hear.
I
Anyway,
know,
Fly on the wall.
I really want to listen to Howie and Garrick, and then Kara just sitting there like,
yeah, covering your ears.
Yeah, rolling her eyes.
Oh,
There you go.
I hope that she turns into like a ball and then like rolls around spaces like.
Oh yeah, totally. That's how she plays.
And
That's
Sir
totally
Garrick,
how she plays.
It's Sir Garrick. If it does get bad, you can always have. Hopefully, Kara will understand to collapse the whole entrance.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
That-
We will do what is necessary.
I believe in you. I trust you.
Thank you.
She's an amazing creature. Boy.
I trust you as I put a little bit of paladin power in between my eyes and they light up a little bit.
I trust
looking
you.
at the undead.
You know.
It's like,
All right.
I'm choosing to trust you.
Yeah,
Trust
there you go. There you go. All right, so the three of them turn and begin to go, and Kara, she's kind of following mostly because Howie pulls out little spider bodies that he's picking spider bits. He's kind of like
Leaves a trail.
Right.
ET style.
like Reese's Pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
Turpin kind
all
of pats her on the side and kind of encourages her to go. So
right. She follows. She follows.
It'll be okay, Bill.
And then, as that happens, Elias comes up behind Turpin and slaps him on the back, and he says, "Cry no tears, Turpin. Come, let's find you a wife."
Oh man, I miss Sebastian. No,
No, you don't.
I know. I really don't.
I do.
I know. I'm sorry.
Either way, the lady steward presents 8 chumas to you. So the 5 that you can ride, and then you'll have to carry 3 others with you.
I figure one could handle 2 halflings for sure.
Right, but if you're also planning on
Yeah.
a woman and 2 children,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Well,
I think-
let us fly off a wall.
Fly, you fools!
Yes.
So-
Gonna float.
So they kind of like
Off
okay,
the
they're
wall.
like turkey fly, right? They
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
it's kind of like a big leap, and then they.
Yep, got it.
Yep, absolutely.
Jeff,
can
have you
glide
ever
down.
thrown a chicken?
I cannot say that I
That's
have.
effectively what's going to happen here.
He never
There you
played
go.
Zelda.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. No.
He never played Ocarina of
Wait,
Time.
you guys did it in Zelda?
You can throw a
What you
chicken.
do, chase chickens?
I didn't do it in Zelda. I just got bored in Kentucky one day.
Nice, nice.
Shout out to
All right.
Fable
Chuck a
for the
chicken.
over-the-top British accents
Oh, there you go.
in that
There
game.
you go. Yeah.
Chicken chaser.
Chicken chaser.
What you do? Chase chickens.
Oh,
all
you're supposed
day.
to be some kind of big hero.
Yeah.
Okay, so can they fly back up over a hill? I mean, they can jump.
No, they
No.
would not be
So
able
it's
to
more
clear
of
a
a
30-foot
descent.
wall.
Oh, I think our
Yeah.
plan is so we're going to land in the field.
Go
then
and secure an
the
alliance.
temple itself is
Okay.
basically boarded up against the field.
Okay, then
Try and gain
hopefully
entrance
we
there.
have an alliance, and then we go back up on the wall to do the next jump.
Well,
Yeah.
Once we
that
have-
or once you and the Dusk Fair, I mean,
Yeah,
from
there's
what
a
I
lot.
was gathering, once you and the
Yeah.
Temple of Dusk were aligned, you present a
could
united
go-
front to the Dusk Fair and be like,
and
hey,
we can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we have.
we're already
enemies.
working
Yep.
together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want in on this?
Right.
Yeah. Look at what we got coming on here.
I keep wanting to call these churros, but I think it's churra, right? Yeah.
Think
Chuma.
about the
Chumas. Okay, I got
Chuma.
this. See, I am not spelling.
Jeff's
it.
having a
there's
stroke
no
or
cinnamon or
I
honey
am.
involved
I
at
feel
all.
like
Yeah.
it feels like a Monday.
Yeah, no, those are the elephant ears that you're thinking of.
Oh,
They
yeah,
are in the
that's right,
Dusk
yes.
Fair, but-
Okay, got it.
So the
They are delicious.
the etymology of the word chuma, so it just the first 2 letters being that of chicken,
Mhm.
and then the last 3 being that uma, which is the Japanese word for horse.
Chicken horse.
Chicken horse.
Got it.
That's it.
Chicken
Baka,
fingers.
baka, 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 baka.
In other words, these are
Hey, did we
Chocobos,
license?
I
I was going to
suppose.
say, did we license the Chocobo Racing theme song for this?
oh no, unfortunately not.
Dang it!
No.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Square Enix did not get back to me in time. So,
What? No way.
oh, you
Jerks.
know,
No, not really.
it is what it is. All right,
Please
so
sponsor us.
Please. Hey, if we change 90% of something, how something looks, legally we can use it.
I'm just saying, I would love a Final Fantasy set in Telosia. Are you kidding me? That would be amazing.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I mean, some of the stuff is inspired from some Final Fantasy lore and games, so it's some fun stuff.
What isn't inspired by everything? So
It's very true. It's very true. There is nothing new under the sun. Let's jump a wall. So
gosh.
you gather the 8 Chumas towards the top of the wall, and looking out over the farm district that is there, you can actually see the next wall where it comes across the farming district, and you know that the temple is just on the other side of that. There is a
How far
swell,
is the drop?
30 feet.
Oh. Okay.
You'll probably just break your legs if you fall. You're fine.
Oh, yeah, please. you guys, Cal's
Just
on
don't lock
his,
your legs, because those are
his-
torn
his-
ACLs, MCLs, PCLs, and all the
Right.
other scales.
Go limp. Go limp.
I'd be more worried about the shattered bone fragments entering my thigh area.
Oh, pish posh. You'll be fine.
We got
So-
a healer. It'll be fine.
You guys do notice Cal gets a little white knuckled as we get to the edge.
There you go.
Turpin's got a big smile on his face, and on wafting on the air, there's the kind of heavy scent of like an orangey citrus type of scent, while he's
There you go.
just grinning from.
Oh,
ear
and the
to
Chumas are like looking around, all excited by it.
ear.
Either
They
way,
like oranges, apparently.
Do you think we?
my Chuma can tell that I'm not exactly having a good time with this, and it's like,
Do you think
get a little Bucky, little
as
Rammy.
as we land, should we accidentally drop a form or a piece of paper that mentions alliance with the Temple of Dusk and hope for
The way you're describing it doesn't sound much like an accident.
No, yeah, well, okay, good job. And then hint at hoping to be able to make an alliance with the Dusk Bear, just so maybe we can take away any threat and give them some hope and keep them from attacking.
Are you suggesting
Well-
littering pamphlets? Is that what we're
Yeah,
doing?
maybe we can be more subtle than pamphlets.
He wants to
but-
front load the diplomacy.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well,
Prime-
Lady Janelle
prime the pump.
could have written a couple of letters.
and then we
Yeah.
can accidentally drop
then
them
we
or-
can say that we're Chuma messengers dispatched
go.
from the city center.
There you
Well,
go. There you go.
Yeah, I mean we can
The
try.
agents
Yeah,
of the steward. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They will
Well,
definitely ask why we chose to go to the dusk before we went to them first.
well, we can
but-
tell them.
We'll just
honestly.
tell him we come in chicken peace.
No, yeah.
The sky is falling.
We can honestly say that we have
these are chicken bags.
we have friends and family there that we have to. We can honestly say that. There's
Yeah, you can.
no shame in saying
Yeah.
that at all.
Oh, I don't think we're actually gonna get stopped, but I mean, if you want to
well,
drop a letter,
Let us pass. Turpin's
Hey,
fiance is trapped in here.
Well, is there
Cal,
any?
Cal takes
I
a piece
don't
of
have a
paper,
ring.
makes a paper glider, and then tosses the paper glider out over
There you
it.
go.
Yeah, is there
There
any
you go.
active fighting on that line, or is that?
As you're looking, it seems
Yeah,
as
as
though
we look
tensions are
down.
kind of high over
Okay.
in that area, but it's mostly like, again, more FOBs and kind of sandbag encampment style.
Well, we may have to do
um,
some quick talking then, so we'll see.
You very well might. You very well
Let's just
might.
hoof it.
Yep.
And what
Either
happens,
way.
happens.
Let's
All
get
of
these
you
plans
kind of
hatched.
look at
Let's
each
go.
other. Nice, well done.
Thank
Kind
you.
of looking at each other, and you all give that kick, and the Chumas leap
Ah!
off the 30-feet walls. Their wings begin to beat and slowly descend, and as they reach down towards the ground, they take off. These things move easily, like 60 feet, 60, 75, or 70 feet around in terms of just their standard movement speed, and they are dashing, just rocketing through the farm district, and you can hear the calls out by some of the mercenaries. You can see it's kind of hodgepodge. Not all of these individuals are professionally trained mercenaries, but for those that are, they are making calls out, and a couple of them try and make a little barricade, and the Chumas just straight leap over top and continue their run.
Well,
Just
maybe-
passing through.
Well,
just
maybe
passing through.
we'll happen to drop one of those letters.
Okay.
In
All right,
that
there you
area,
go.
so pretty obvious.
Okay. Yeah.
Just make it look like, oops.
All right. Perfect. As they're jumping.
Wait.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Roll for deception? No.
Yeah.
I make sure that my bird doesn't poop on anyone as it jumps over.
Hold it in. Hold it in.
Oh
All
no,
right.
this is a big birdie says Dooku on the brightest metal plate that I can find.
No, it'll be like
Oh, no.
it'll be like getting shot in the face with a milkshake if it happens.
Oh yeah.
Great.
I've been
Great.
shot.
Whoa.
Chumadoose. All right, here we go. Eventually, you see that line approaching, and the calls out are even bigger at this point, but you continue to rush, and eventually get to that line, and the Chumas leap into the air, making it over the line and into the Temple of Dusk territory, and you can see it changes from mercenaries to Templars and robed individuals and citizens and civilians who have armed themselves to the teeth. And they all begin to enclose, and the Chumas,
we just
as you start
Yeah,
to rain in,
hands up.
Like,
Hands
whoa,
up.
whoa, whoa.
we put our hands up.
Fine,
Yeah,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
not
We
not
come
like
in peace.
Braveheart did.
eventually coming to a stop, you now you can see some of them begin to enclose. One of them is a temple guard who begins to move forward, raising the visor and says, "Halt! In the name of Dusk."
The Phoenix Company is here. We come on behalf of the Lady Stewart, wishing to seek an audience with your lady.
The look is interesting. He tilts his head to the side. You roll an insight check.
Yeah, I can do
May
that.
I as well?
Sure. Anybody who wants
Oh.
to that's proficient.
Sweet, first roll of the session, natural 20.
Nice.
With
Mine was a
insight, so a
13,
total
not
of
as good.
24.
All right. The
Yeah,
look
I didn't get a natural 20.
But you got 21.
Yeah, pretty good.
still pretty good. So the look is very inquisitive. There is a certain you get the sense that this individual is almost like he was expecting this. And as he kind of listens, he says, "Why?"
We wish to start discussing terms of a potential alliance between the city government, what remains of it, and the Temple of Dusk.
So you wish to speak to the High Priestess
Correct.
in regards to these matters.
Correct.
That one. Yes.
Leave the birds.
I mean, we would like them back if you guys don't kill us, but sure.
If the
Just don't
lady
eat them.
If the lady decrees that we are to give them back, then we shall give them back. But this will
I
be the sign
believe
of
you.
good faith.
Yeah, we can see me. Stop
You
off
you
and-
dismount from the 8 Chumas, and the mercenaries from the Dusk Fair, they are uproarious about the fact that you just leapt over them. And the Temple of Dusk line is holding. The Dusk faithful are like, back off. These guys are ours now. And but
You
can
don't
see-
get the chickens.
It's almost like they're ready to start fighting each other.
I have a
Oh,
question.
jeez.
How many families of 4 could one of these Chumas feed?
Well, I asked. Yeah,
Quite a few.
No.
I asked them. I say, we did not flee from them from any mischief or attempt to cause problems. Please try to allow some.
Tensions have been high here ever since
understand.
the Dawn decided to declare war against the city.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
we were kind of front row center for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Yes.
That was a lot of crazy.
He gives you a slightly suspicious look.
Yeah, we got out of there
saw it,
lickety split.
We left really fast.
We were visiting the gates at the time, and it just
The priestess will want to speak with you. And he turns and begins to call out some orders. Hold the line. I'm taking our guests to meet with the High
we are.
Priestess.
Yes.
And he turns and begins to walk with you, and you make towards the wall, and do in fact reach the area where you are able to get through. And there you find now, as you're coming through the gates, you see the large expanse of the Dusk Temple. And whereas the Dawn was built up into the Dawn side and seemed to tower up above, the Dusk has almost been cut out of the earth and built down in, almost
Oh,
this
like
I
a
like
quarry.
it. I love
yes,
that.
like
That's
a quarry.
So
That's dope.
That's cool.
cool. Oh,
And you
I just like Death Side so much better than Dawn
Yeah.
Side. I'm just,
They got all the cool. They got all the cool gods over on this side too.
Yeah.
the view is better from the dawn, but it is
Ah.
cooler in the because I mean to be able to see down into the dusk. This is just too cool, and out
Yeah.
under the endless plains of Seikei, it's just awesome. All right, Kywind is a joy. All right, you are brought into a main courtyard area, and there, in the center, is actually a pool. And as you come into the courtyard, you can see 9, 10 Templar that are gathered around, and each one of them is armed to the teeth. These guys are very, very well armed, well trained. You can see, but the Templar continues to move in, leans in, and whispers something into the ear of one of the other Templar, who then takes a stone, lights it, and throws it into the pool of water. The pool, which is opaque. In the evening light, you cannot see exactly what it is, but it is not the translucent that water is. As it lands in the water, all of a sudden, the pool itself lights. This flash of light emanates all the way through it like a beacon. A wave of light that goes out, a ripple, as it were. And then it goes back to being dark and opaque. And there, in the center, after a few moments, comes a figure rising out of the water,
The Watcher.
in the opaque liquid as it falls off of her. And she begins to step up as though all of a sudden she's able to walk on water itself, walking now to the very edge of the pool and steps down, the black hood over her face, a veil that comes over that. And you can see in the pale light, alabaster skin. And she goes, "Ah, the guests that I looked down so favorably upon during the trial. I am the High Priestess of Dust. Twyla, you may call me. Pleasure to meet you."
Lady Twyla, we have since branded ourselves Phoenix Company. I don't know
Interesting.
how much was conveyed to you in that pebble, but we do come before you on behest of the Lady Stewart in hopes that we may broker an alliance between the two districts that we hold in order to become stronger for it.
Janelle sent you?
Yes.
She did indeed.
Do you
We have
present the letter?
evidence. Yes. We do also have evidence that you may wish to know or a part of that was relevant that we have since uncovered since the trial.
Will you accompany me?
Cal kind of
our-
looks around at like how pretentious this entire setup is of like the Magic Lake and everything, and is like,
I don't know. I'm into it.
"Yeah, sure, let's go for it." You know.
She turns and begins to walk into the pool again, but she's not walking on top this time. She's descending into it.
I'll follow.
Yeah.
Each of you, as you begin to step into it, it is thick.
Before we do that, Brendan,
Thick water.
do
Yeah.
I have any kind of a sense of what this is?
It almost has an iron-like smell.
Like a coppery smell?
Kinda.
Mercury?
Not mercury.
Okay. That'd be weird.
Oh, that'd
No,
be
and
crazy.
it's as you kind of Turpin, you kind of reach down and touch with your fingers.
Yeah.
It's got a certain stick to it.
It's blood, guys.
Hmm. Yep.
I was gonna say that was really cool, but now it's like
Morbid?
that's cool.
Well, she continues to walk down into it, and eventually, I mean, it keeps getting deeper, and eventually goes
I'll-
over her head.
I'll
I'll
follow
keep
it.
going.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon as they go into the swamp.
Yeah,
Right, right.
Sure.
Turpin's gonna walk in and he goes,
And then you see Charles and Dan come up and grab him and just pull him down.
He
Nice.
holds his breath. He's like,
Well, as you hold your breath and kind of begin to go under, all of a sudden you look up and it's nothing. You're just stepping down further into a declining
Illusion.
quarry. Your senses, like you look up and there you can see the barrier.
like, okay, it's cool again.
And yeah, as you reach up and touch, like you're able to, it's almost like there is something that holds a thin layer of some kind of liquid that is.
Surface
And as you look
tension.
down, it's like as you bring your hand down, it's water. But almost just a means of keeping everybody away from it that would not want to go
Sure.
into whatever
blood
that would
pool?
be. Yeah, precisely.
Children, we do need to talk though. It worked out this time, but if you're going to keep wearing her dad's cloak, you can't be wandering into pools of blood anymore.
She didn't ask for it back, so.
That's-
So, you know what?
Turpin,
I mean, that could have gone sideways.
Hey,
A new dye job. It's already crimson.
She keeps going down and down towards the bottom here. There is a central basin that flattens out. And as you're there, it's maybe some 30-foot diameter. You look up and you can see stars. Whereas the rain has, there's a patch of clouds that have cleared. And you see the stars and almost like you were be able to chart them well from this location.
Brendan,
There-
do I still look like Elias?
You
down
do
here?
still look like Elias.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. There is a central pedestal, a basin within this basin, as it were. And the
Basin instead of a basin.
right,
Base Inception.
base inception. The shadow, the high priest of dusk, comes forward and pours water into the pool, and sets it to the side. And no, she washes her hands. Actually,
Okay.
she washes her
Sorry.
hands
Things
inside of it
that
from the
would-
side.
mm,
It's not Galadriel, guys. But as she steps back, she beckons for each of you to join in the ceremonial washing of your hands. And after all of you come forward and do so, she then steps forward again and takes the water and brings it to her face and cleanses her face, and you cleanse yours. And as you do, you now look up and you can see the stars are far brighter. Almost as though the dusk enhances. And you see beyond, you see into the night, you see comets and beautiful trails of solar energies and gases, plasmas. It's fascinating to see what you see.
And see why she might have paid guards off to not inspect this place.
Turpin kind of looks up and goes, "Those are really unfamiliar stars."
Yes. Welcome. We may speak plainly here. No one can hear us. Well, some can hear us.
I was going to say insight check on that.
She seems to be referring to celestial bodies, as it were.
17, but I want this to go high, so I'm going to use knowledge of a past life and add a d6 to that. So 21.
Yeah, you pick up on the notes of seriousness, but also almost like a glee, as though this is one of her favorite places to be.
I could be here too.
This is nice.
So, she kind of looks around, and again, there's still a veil over her face. She says, "I am intrigued as to why the Lady Stewart is reaching out to form an alliance. Our factions, our districts, they do not touch."
No,
Well,
they do not.
it's
Not yet.
part of a greater strategy, and honestly, we thought we would start with you for a multitude of reasons.
Pray
Most
tell.
of them being that you didn't vote against us in the trial.
In either
So
case.
in either case, and we suspect that you might be unaffiliated with the group calling themselves the Murder of Woes, which I'm sure at this point you have clashed with.
Yes, I have lost some faithful to the Murder of Woes. They are not high on my friend list.
Ours either.
Yeah.
The enemy of my enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Is friends. And
They
before we
could
wish
be. They could be.
could be. And what we're hoping to do is if we could join, the districts, we would be able to attack from flanking positions into the Murder of Woes territory.
How is
Potentially.
this different from what we are already trying to do?
Well, a coordinated effort. If we were able to gain, and this is full disclosure, I'm being very forthright with you, we would then be able to approach the desk fair from a place of strength and say, hey, these two districts have already allied ourselves with each other, and then we would be able to hopefully gain them into it, and we would have over a third of the city, not to mention the most secure source of water for the entire, strategically speaking, and both ways in and out of the city, not to mention most of the farmland.
Eliza Fairchild is no fan of mine.
I understand. It's going to be tricky. There's reasons why division has risen up in between throughout the city, but I think in behest of the well-being of all the people, we should start to try and find common ground for all of us.
Perhaps.
And dear lady, we also, to have a more personal reason for being in your district as well, we have, and I say this with respect to you, that we have those that we love as we look up and see the stars and we think of them. We wish to be reconciled, and then our full hearts can be toward this alliance and to ridding the city of this division.
So, in the faith that you are not a part of any conspiracy to defraud the government and overthrow it, here's what we found out in the last 12 hours since we last saw you. And I'll bring forth the journal and any of the other information that we found. This here is definitive proof that Andrew Kane is the Mantis.
I can even
Yeah.
recite. I can even recite for her the
all the
high
letters and
priest
stuff
of Dawn's exact sermon.
Yeah.
Interesting. As you begin to tell her what Verlick was saying, she very much so perks up and says, if we are going to make this alliance a thing, I need something from you.
That's probably understood. What do you wish of us?
I wish that the Dusk, the Temple of Dusk, would be placed as the city's official religious state, taking place over the dawn.
Turpin leans over to Elias, like, can we do that? I do.
So, as she concludes that thought, and I hear Turpin, I want to do another insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, can I don't, well, this actually might be a perception check instead. Do I see any religious iconography on her because I know that dusk covers
Yeah, there are
certain
three.
section of the pantheon.
Yeah.
To see if there's anything on her that she is that would let me know personally which god she venerates the most.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
All right. Dang it. 10.
10. You can
I'll
see-
roll as well.
There you go. You can see that there's a chain, but the chain itself is tucked in. You would have to have the right angle, and you're missing it at the moment.
What gods were they again? They were Gudrus.
Gudrus, Sephira, and Axara.
Hooters.
Yeah, exactly.
My lady.
You worry that I'm looking to force conversions upon the city's inhabitants. That is not what I'm desiring to do.
No, before I suggest that, before we make any agreement, we have shown a great deal to you, hopefully hoping to gain your trust, but I sense that perhaps we have not yet gained it. And especially now that you have made such a request, if I might ask, of the three gods of dusk, which one do you owe personal allegiance to?
Interesting. I find that instinct is everything. Gudrus, he is the one to follow.
Insight check on that one.
Sure.
And I'm gonna roll inside.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. There we
I'll
go.
try.
Finally, 22.
Despite her hood, 18's pretty good too. Despite her hood, you can see the smile and the cunning with which she
She's telling the
speaks.
truth.
Yeah, absolutely. She's in
So,
this
I'm going to take a
she sees
step
position,
forward.
an opportunity for power.
I'm going to take a step forward away from the others.
Okay.
Yep.
Separating myself just a little bit. Perhaps one final show of good faith. And then I'm going to let it drop,
I'll do it. Yeah.
and I'm going to
Become
turn
charlatan?
into charlatan fully. And as that happens, I say, my lady Twyla, it is my pleasure to formally at last introduce myself. My name is Charlatan, priest of Gudrus.
Ooh. Charlie, you devil.
You see the head turn, and she's examining you underneath the veil, and she begins to pull her veil up and off and the hood backwards, and you see a teenage girl,
No way.
black hair, incredible. I mean, we are talking just straight goth, the blackest of eyeshadow.
I'm
and
imagining
eyeliner.
Raven from Teen Titans.
Pretty much.
I was thinking Maybe Wavy from Hotel Transylvania.
Right. Either way, she steps forward and lets her hand
Right.
come towards you and says, "May I?"
Of course.
And she puts her finger and runs it along the cracks on your face and says, "Fascinating."
She has a thing for dead guys.
You'll forgive me. Yeah. That's a condition. You'll forgive my deception, but sometimes survival requires it.
Yes, it does.
I happen to, not that I can speak for my allies here, I happen to think that the supremacy of dusk might actually do some good for this city.
The reason I ask is because they have not allowed any of our festivals, our rituals, our holidays to be recognized, and so the city found itself incredibly ill-prepared when the time was necessary to be so.
Yes.
I have been ignored outright multiple times by Verlick's Star, and had I lowered my hood, that would have been the only reason I would have garnished his attention, but for not the best of gains.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
We
true.
suspect that he's probably all of the allegations against him were true.
Bazinga.
Yes, well, he doesn't know my actual age.
Smart.
He would not be comforted by it. I am 97.
Oh,
You look good for 97.
Fascinating.
Yes.
is she an elf or is she
No.
human?
Human.
Oh,
It would seem that I am not the only person in this room
With
wearing
secrets? No.
Hmm.
Oh, this is my actual skin. This is my body. I've merely found a way to elevate my youth.
you have like a portrait somewhere that.
Yeah, there you go. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Such a curious case.
Yeah. And she's cute as a button.
Well,
Careful, sometimes the most beautiful are also the
Yeah.
most deadly.
I feel like I can say this. We would be more than happy to bring your most generous offer to the Lady Stewart on your behalf. We
Very
are
well.
here acting as simply her envoys. Such decisions for the future of Kywind are frankly above us. But if we might be so bold, from one follower of the Shadow Father to another, we deeply desire to make it to the Rearguard Tavern, which is well within inside your district's borders. As my
Very
friend
well.
Chilburn said here, we have those that are dear with us that we wish to see survive.
Very well. I will approve your moving through the district. As for our alliance, I will ask just a moment of your patience. And she actually begins to step backward, turns and walks away, and after a few moments returns and said, I have had a conversation with Janelle. Gave her my terms.
Oh wow.
And she's agreed.
Well,
Excellent.
that sped up that process.
Well, Bishop Starr has not exactly shown himself to be,
A good man.
any good influence on the city, so I'm not displeased.
Yeah.
I think there is more to the Dawn Bishop than meets the eye.
Agreed.
Transformer?
No, I believe that he has fettered himself to something foul.
Ah,
Like
He's
a
not-
How
chuma.
else?
he's not the only one.
Not a chuma.
No.
I like chumas.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
not foul.
fried.
No.
Well, their eggs are delicious.
Mm.
I bet they're huge.
Yes.
I, you know,
Just weird.
I really don't. You know, I think my companions really enjoyed it, but I really did not enjoy the jumping off the wall thing.
That's it.
Oh.
He's got a thing with heights. It's
You all are braver than you look.
Hmm.
It was
Stupid, I think, but
Hmm.
No,
So-
this is actually quite telling of you. Yes, please. You go with my blessing. You may retrieve your birds,
appreciate it.
go
So-
and pick up your loved ones, and
we will return here, not to this room specifically, but to your temple.
very well.
How will we know? Will you give us papers or have us accompanied?
I'm
Or
sure she can communicate to her guards.
She pulls out a symbol. It is you see a mask,
Hmm.
We're getting another badge. We're getting another badge.
not a badge.
Ah, we're like the
See-
Boy
You
Scouts.
see a mask. It is a black iron pendant
Hmm.
of a almost like a porcelain doll's mask.
Wow.
The lower half, the top
cool.
half is kind of cracked, and there's a single finger that comes up over the mouth. It's the holy symbol of Gudrus.
That sounds like
Oh, that's
copyright
dope.
infringement. I might sue.
No.
That's
It's
dope.
a cracked white face. That's not. That's
it's
not
it's
cool.
a black
Black,
crack.
Black.
black
Okay,
iron,
all right.
black iron.
Ah,
So, yeah,
jeez.
don't be. Yeah.
It's black iron. Yeah, and it comes on a little bit of a chain. Yeah, so it is the official symbol of Gudrus. So and if you turn it, it kind of just has this purplish, duskish glow to it. She said, "My faithful will know."
Thank you.
I appreciate
That's
that.
generous.
Might I ask your opinion on a few of the things that we have uncovered?
You may.
What do you think of Commander Danium Kane?
Danium Kane. I was the only one to not suspect him of being involved, but after this, maybe I vote.
Hmm.
My vote might have been incorrect.
Yeah.
I
You-
shall have to pray on this.
if Gudrus gives any guidance, we would love
So as
any
soon as-
information.
As soon as Cal says
never
that,
speaks.
Charlatan goes,
Listen, I don't know the guy.
He's only a paladin. Oh.
Have you ever had to forge your own way, Cal?
My entire life.
Surviving by instinct alone?
In the recent months, yes.
Then Gudrus is not as far away as you think.
That's scary. Cool. You religious types are scary, I say as a paladin.
You don't think that I have paladins under my service to Gudrus?
No, that's not what I meant. I just... Unfortunately, maybe I can see it as a gap in my education. My paladin training was mostly around...
I'll proselytize him. It's fine.
Wonderful.
Most of my training was around combat and the capture of fugitives.
Ah, well, then your fugitives know more about Gudrus than you do.
Most likely.
After she says that, though, Turpin kind of looks down and is contemplating. Like there's something she said really kind of struck a
Sure.
chord there.
Sure. There you go.
All right.
Either way, she says, "Are there any other questions I can answer for you?"
Do you happen to know what's Hazel's last name?
Balladly.
Validly.
Validly.
Balladly. Do you happen to know a Hazel Balladly?
No, I do not.
Insight check.
I'm not going to insight check her.
Doesn't mean she's not lying though.
15.
15. Her answer was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Arlen, same thing. Very quick and almost like a matter of fact, like, no, never heard of her.
Nora, a Marjorie Blunt?
Yeah.
Marjorie Blunt. That name is a different story.
Oh. Okay.
Marjorie Blunt, I know that she is actually the one who has headed up the casino for so many years.
Oh.
Oh, she runs the casino.
I've won a fair bit of coin there myself.
Oh.
Disguised as someone else, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, everyone has their vices. I don't judge.
It's not a
Oh,
vice for followers of
but this
goodness.
is a virtue. Trust
Yeah.
me.
kind of gambling is kind of part of the game when you worship.
I'm,
the gods of
I
probability.
feel like I should probably just shut up about religious things and stop trying to assume.
Oh.
Have you heard that Rayola Merryworth has disappeared?
She lets loose a word that I will not utter here because she doesn't. Yeah. Don Father.
Okay, so that's you don't care for her.
No.
Okay.
She
Does
has
not
been
like-
a thorn in my side for
Oh.
many, many years.
Did you take her?
No. But I am pleased to know that she is missing.
Oh.
Well,
She stays that way.
given the way things are, she very well may have just chosen a side, and I suspect her fate will not be.
That or she's dead.
It's what's possible.
Either is fine by me.
Yet someone who
Yes.
knows so much and has so access to so much could be dangerous.
Please, let
So-
me inform you, I trust a liar to lie.
Mm.
They're supposed to, it's part of their nature. But for those who are supposed to be bound to truth and record keeping, to do it is quite unseemly.
Truly.
That's a great observation.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
Mm.
So, last question is: you spoke that you are not on favorable terms with Eliza Fairchild.
More so
Ah.
that she does not like me.
It's fair. Obviously, she's the next member that we want to try and bring into this alliance for a numerous of reasons, mostly the strategic importance of the district. If you have any wisdom to impart on how we may approach her to impress her enough to consider the values of joining this alliance.
I will say, it makes it quite difficult for us to have an alliance without our borders touching, and I do not have enough farm district for my people. Peppers we are, supplies we have, but those are not to be opened unless it is absolutely necessary. I would very much so like to acquire some of her excess farmland, as it is right on our borders.
Yeah. Well, and as an alliance, we would all have it. Obviously, the aqueduct would also be a great boon to us as well, so...
You make a good point. I am willing to work with her if she is willing to work with me.
Okay.
You happen to,
just-
even if you could only theorize, do you happen to know anything that she might be interested in gaining?
Everything. Greed is her middle name.
Well, there is, in theory, a great deal of money to be able to be made in times of war.
She doesn't want money.
No,
She wants
so
power.
she wants favors. Okay.
All the above.
Great, she's one of those kinds of diplomats. All right. Well, thank you for the insights. I'm pleased to hear that you are not opposed to allying yourself. That would obviously be very difficult, as we would not want to upset you in any way.
It wouldn't be upsetting me. I knew this day was coming.
I can tell. You guys
My
seem to,
religion begs it.
That's true.
you know, maybe one day I need to learn. But
We'll work it out. I have the
You're
path.
Yes.
on the path.
maybe I have a bunch of bright things in my life right now, though, so
Dusk is but the other side of dawn. There is still light. We just use it to our advantage. We're not blinded by it as it comes up to illuminate what was dark.
I keep
We use
forgetting
it
that
to
you're
keep
like
ourselves
100
sheltered.
I keep forgetting that you're like 100 years old and have a lot of wisdom because you look like my niece. So
Yes, well, she must be very beautiful.
very much so, my lady.
Well, we shall return most likely tomorrow at some point. We
Later
thank you for your
today.
hospitality. And then as I say that, I'm going to turn back into Elias, and then I'm going to bow even deeper and say,
Fascinating.
the blessing of Kamaria's light be upon you.
Let her twilight grace your steps.
All right.
That's not bad.
As we're like walking away, I was like, I think that went pretty well.
But we didn't talk
Guys,
about
Twyla's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was cool.
He's dope.
I love it. I'm just like, I'm imagining like the room that we're in. Like, I know you say it's like shadow and everything, but like, I imagine like a white, clean room and then just twilight above us.
Well, have you
And,
played
like-
have you played Elden Ring?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
the Undercity? That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking of when I
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
Well, on the way back, we'll have to talk about Dame Caradir and the next. we need to give her some thought to that as well and understand her thoughts, because it sounds
Yeah.
like Eliza is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
I don't
Because-
think she'll be easy, but I think she might be the easiest one to manipulate into agreeing to an alliance. She has a
but
lot
she
to
might.
gain.
She's gonna ask. She's gonna ask. the
She's
cheapest
going to
price
ask the
tag.
most.
Yeah, but she. I think you're right. She's also the most vulnerable. You know, one good fire wipes out her.
Her entire.
Yeah.
I think she has the most to gain from the alliance.
Yeah, she needs
the
the
fact
commerce.
that-
Yeah.
Two of her borders would be willing to join with her would be huge.
Opening up that
relief.
flow. That would be flow would be huge. That income could
Not to
actually begin.
mention-
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I agree. I think economically that is it. We have a very good argument. So
I think that's how we have to come from it, is from the economics.
Yep.
If the amount of money she could simply make, and the favors and the power that she would be put into by supplying
Yeah.
the
But al-
city
yeah, but it
with
also maybe
arms armor.
she might be beholden to some people as well. So we have to
She might be.
worry about that one thing at a time. Yeah, we got.
She's
Let's go save our friends here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I understand her the most out of all the district leaders.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
well, she just reminds me of someone I know.
Hmm.
As you guys are walking away, Turpin's still just kind of sitting there, you know, kind of lost in thought. If anybody is actually kind of walks past him,
Mhm.
there's a little bit of an aroma of actually peppermint coming off of him this time. He's
Hmm.
just kind of sitting there thinking, and doesn't really notice that you guys leave.
Oh.
Hey, Turpin,
Sorry.
You okay?
are you okay?
Yeah. He's gonna kind of look at Twyla for a second, and let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll fall back a little bit as we walk away and zero in on Turpin a little bit. And say, copper for your thoughts.
Yeah, you silver.
I'll toss him a silver.
Catch it, pocket. I something she said about having to survive on your instincts and just kind of make it. Made me kind of go back for a moment there for something I hadn't really. We've been so busy and all, and I mean I was a wee lost lad again there for a second.
I understand.
We really need to find him, Charlatan.
We will.
You
You have to understand something, Turpin. I know that you spent many, many years living your life on the edge of a blade. And it makes sense. It makes absolute sense. Whether they know it or not. Gudrus is the patron of thieves and rogues. Those who live for not only freedom, but survival as well.
Well, I don't know much about the freedom part. I guess some could call it that, but I don't want him to turn out like me, Charlatan. We need to find him.
In my experience, do you know who Gudrus happens to bless the most often?
Not really.
The clever. And if there's one thing I know about that boy, is that he is clever. We'll make it in time.
I
have no fear.
You'll have to have faith for both of us. I just worry about him.
As do I.
I'm trying to decide what we're going to tell Beatrice.
What do you think we should tell her?
Well, the truth. I just don't know how she's going to take it.
Let's make sure we focus on the part of Franklin being alive.
I agree.
Because that means there's hope.
Hope is good.
And no matter who you pray to, you can do an awful lot with faith and hope.
I'm sure that's true. I don't know about the faith part, but I know what hope can.
You stick to the hope, I'll stick to the faith, and we'll meet in the middle.
That sounds great.
All right. To the rear guard.
Yeah.
You get back your chumas and make your way through the city streets. They're eerily quiet.
I'm
But eventually-
prominently wearing that locket she gave me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Eventually, you roll up on the Rear Guard Tavern, and inside you can hear music, It's not intense, but rather calm, actually. And as you dismount and lead your chumas over to the line where you can tie them off.
The post, hitching post.
Yes, the hitching post. You
The
see an
chicken
individual lean out the door, and it is the half-orc bouncer.
Hmm.
And he goes, "Took it long enough."
It's only been a day.
Coming in.
Of course we're coming in.
Kind of steps out, flexes his muscles a little bit as he kind of puts his arms up, allows you to go in.
All right.
And as you do, you can see the crotchety gnome standing behind the bar, pouring drinks, and he goes, "Here, gotta pay up for more time. Kept your room for you."
How much do we owe you?
Thank you for
I'm kidding. Beatrice has paid up for you. All good.
Oh, that.
Is Beatrice available?
Beatrice! And you now see the halfling woman kind of come round. She's got flour all over her apron. And this beautiful bread smell follows her as she kind of brings out this large basket of loaves and kind of sets them on a table, climbs up, and wipes. She gets flour in her eyes. Oh, well, God darn it. And just takes a moment to kind of clear it. What do you need? And that's when she kind of sees you walking in the door. Take off for the rest of the day? Yeah, go ahead. I got this. Especially since you brought me the fresh bread. And he kind of slides it over, grabs a big baguette and just takes a bite right out of the end of it. And so Beatrice gets down quickly, wipes her face, and it's got flour still all over it. It's up in her hair and everything. And she rushes over to you and says, I didn't know if I would see you again with everything going on in this city. I am so glad that you're okay.
We're glad you're okay too, Beatrice. It's
Yeah.
been
We were quite worried.
interesting.
Yeah, the last
Okay.
24 hours, a lot has happened.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I do.
Holy smokes.
And therefore I am.
Okay, take it
We
easy,
were in the
Descartes.
center of a lot of. But, Turpin, you should be the one to lead this.
Yes.
I
Perhaps
don't know if.
if we retire to our room for this conversation.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
it's not bad news. I
It's-
mean,
it's-
it's, you know,
it's-
it,
Oh, that's
just-
a relief. Oh.
It's worse
Yeah.
news. No,
Cal just punches Elias in the face like.
suddenly turned into Sebastian for a second and then goes back. Yeah.
Bad news is your son is dead. The good
No.
news is you can make another one.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
Takes a lot of time.
All right.
He's not wrong. All right.
Not wrong.
He's not wrong, but that's not
Well,
a nice thing.
Was it wrongly presented? Yes. Yes.
I'm still
Does he
working on
regret
my
it?
tact.
No.
I'm still working
Yeah,
on
he
his
doesn't.
bedside manner's the worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlton
we-
didn't get to where he is
God.
thinking about how he'd feel tomorrow.
No.
So we're going up to the room. Is that how you're
Yeah,
thinking it? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we-
Correct.
Okay,
this is also the last time we found what's her face too.
Yeah, and I- well, I asked
Yeah.
Beatrice, and I said, "Is Julia Lynn still? Is she okay?"
I haven't seen them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's about right.
They
Yeah.
they decided to go to mass.
Oh no!
Wait.
Oh.
In
I forgot.
Dawnside.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I look right at Timaeus.
They were there. They would have
They
been
were
there.
there. We were at that mass.
I would doubt they were able to get back across.
Was it as bad as they say?
Worse.
probably worse.
Cal just like completely deflates.
Did both kids were with her?
She went because her daughter had met a boy and wanted to go.
And so they all three went, huh?
All three of them, yes.
Ooh.
They couldn't have known.
First things
Demise.
first.
No.
I know. First things
They
first.
could have known. You know, the nice thing is there are going to be a lot of people. They're an enemy. I can't say words.
Well, I think
I doubt that anyone will know who they are.
They are most likely safe but trapped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've never wanted to have words more with the bishop.
No.
I would like to say a thing or two to him myself.
We'll have more than words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to feed him a couple of sandwiches.
Well,
Yeah. Knuckle
Yeah.
sandwiches.
I'm thinking
Oh.
some uses. That flaming sphere has some,
Yes.
interesting uses too. So
Beatrice,
anyway, never mind. Never
like
mind.
she goes to say something and decides against it.
Yeah.
Listen.
Would you like to go
Beat-
upstairs?
Yes, Beatrice.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, Tobias is very upset. So.
Oh,
You-
sure.
I'm
be happy-
so sorry, Tobias.
Yeah.
Cow.
Beatrice, you'll be happy to know that while we still do not know where Franklin is, we have confirmation that he is in fact alive.
You see this sighing, this heaving sigh of relief as you say that, and this is while you're coming into the room now. And she just collapses onto the chair, and just, how do you know? Did you talk to him? Can I talk to him?
No, we went to the Reverie Gate.
Oh gods. Oh, well, if you didn't see him, then that confirms it.
He's alive.
He's such a smart boy.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
They're gonna
that's
walk
this
over
is
and just
everything.
kind of put his hand on her shoulder and kind of stand behind her.
And she
as
immediately
says
like
this,
puts
yeah,
her
yeah.
hand up on top of yours and gives it a really good squeeze.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for finding this out. Where do you begin to look for him though? I don't know. What do
I'll
you
look
know?
at I'll look at Turpin and wait for him to
That's
answer.
the hard part. Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but we kind of believe at this moment he's outside the city, not actually in the city.
What?
So he was
So-
taken by Eagle
Yes.
over the walls, according to witnesses. Is when all the eagles flew outside the city and to somewhere else, and so that's
And right
Oh,
before
okay.
we were able to decide to pursue that, the city fractured in the way that you see it now.
when the
Though-
bishop went crazy and
Though the
Oh, yeah.
person behind, the people behind the fracturing of the city seem to be the ones who have kidnapped your son.
yes.
You can
Again,
see the
we don't-
tears starting to well.
We don't believe that they did it intentionally in any way, but it just so happened
That doesn't
that
change the fact that he's missing.
And
and I
he's
want him
gone.
back.
But
it helps in the fact that they're not looking for him or
Yes.
seeking to actively harm him.
they have bigger fish to fry at the moment.
Believe me, Beatrice, when I say that a young halfling boy can be very creative when it comes to surviving. He's made of tough stuff. If he's anything like his mom, he's made of tough stuff, and he'll be just fine.
I'm hoping that he's more made of his father. Perry was with the Windwall Guard. He was so good at this job. He passed 6 years ago. He was killed in action. Franklin was only 2.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I know a bit of what he's going through. I've been separated from my parents for 13 years now.
Oh, Turpin.
I'm working everything I can to bring him home to you. There's nothing I want more than to reunite
Right.
you two.
Okay. Thank you. Selfishly, I hope it's not 13 years.
you
It
and
won't
me
be.
both.
We're hoping
Beatrice-
to make it less than 13 days.
You must
You
must also
see her
know-
like sigh again at that.
You must also know that we have made while we do not yet know where he is, we have made progress.
Mhm.
Our company is currently allied with
Mhm.
both Lady Stewart and Twyla Shadowhand.
Turpin polishes his badge a little bit. We're official now. We have authority.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, nice.
I didn't realize you were this cool.
We did this.
Like I knew you were cool, but
Well, thank you. I
You should know that seeking your son was the path that led us to this moment. We did this for you and him.
just don't forget.
We will
We
not.
haven't.
Thank you.
And if we happen to save the city of Kywind along the way, so be it.
Mhm.
That's more than fine. I hope
Icing
this
on the
is
cake.
Our home for a long time. I think.
Brendan, how far are we away from the border with the? Because she borders the. She borders the Dusk Fair. This district borders the Dusk Fair.
It does.
And the Dusk
Dusk
Side
Mines.
Battalions.
The Dusk Side. This one doesn't border the Dusk Mines.
It doesn't, but it does. border-
No.
How far away from the front line or from one of those fronts would the rear guard be? Like, is she pretty
rear guard
insulated? Is she pretty
is-
insulated here, or
It's decently insulated. Yeah, the rear guard is rear guard is here on the map.
We don't have it.
We don't see the
We don't
map
have-
anymore.
Oh, you don't see. Right, I'm not sharing it. I didn't know if you still had it up. I can restart
that's
to
fine.
share.
No, it's fine.
No, we
Just-
don't.
I just wanted to know. If it was-
She's probably 2.5 blocks or so from.
She would be able to
From a
run
front.
should something start happening.
Yeah, she would have a decent heads up, but at the same time, she.
Where to?
Yeah, how quickly
Right.
can two blocks fall? I mean,
But
pretty
at the
quick.
same time, she kind of looks at you guys and says, "Listen, I've packed some of my bags from home. I went back and grabbed some of my things and Franklin's things. Obviously, Puddlemeyer will miss me, but he has others that their homes are within Murder of Woe's territory. They're not leaving anytime soon. He has all the help that he needs, and I don't know. I'm keeping busy here, but at the same time, I want to be helpful."
I think the safest place for you,
Us?
Beatrice, would actually be Castle Dusk. We have rooms there.
Okay.
The problem
agree.
is,
Willing
is
to
that
go.
we can't really get you there at the moment,
Okay.
safely. In any case,
Well, we have the Chumas.
yes, but we're going into the other district, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going back.
We're gonna
Back
have
to our-
I was suggested that maybe that if she returns with us to the temple for now, and when
But
we
then
are
we
ready to
can-
go back to Castle
Mhm.
Dusk, we can retrieve her.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Lila has been nothing but kind so far.
Yes.
And accommodating. So
Oh,
I'm
and
gonna-
if she asks, you really like Gudrus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Swear something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go collect Julia Lynn and the kids' things.
There you go.
Tamias, can I help you?
Please. Thank you.
Beatrice gets up and walks with you. She's taken a wet rag and like got all the flour off of her face. It's still up in her hair, but she's gotten it off her face at least.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna head downstairs to the bartender. What's his bartender's name again? Yeah.
Puddlemeyer.
Puddlemeyer. I want to say Puddle Jumper, but I knew that was wrong. Puddle.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, Fizzlewick Muddy Rump.
Muddy
Rump.
Puddlemeyer is a different.
Fizzlerick Muddy Rump.
Puddlemeyer is
Is that
Sandwich's last
Sandwich?
name.
Yeah.
That's Sandwich's last name.
Damage.
Um,
Oh, they're all related.
No,
Who's-
this is the wrong place and time.
I'm gonna go find. I'm gonna go see Muddle Rump.
Muddy Rump.
Muddy Rump.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Just
gonna take special care finding her her note taking stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know, and carefully pack all that and all her.
Sounds good.
Because that you know that's a little bit of a lump in my throat when I see that because that's what
For
she
sure.
wants to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you get back downstairs and you can see someone performing a little bit of music over in the side, and the bar it's not boisterous. People are, you know,
Nervous?
Yeah,
they're nervous and they might be drinking because of their nervousness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a happy drinking.
This is not a joyous event. This is like a I should have bought more food supplies
Yeah.
kind of drinking.
So I'm gonna go up to him.
Yeah,
And
alright.
and flag him down.
Turpin's gonna go with Elias because he was eyeing the bread as they came in.
Okay.
Master Muddy Rump. It is
yes.
excellent to see you again.
Hey, you too. You pay good
Um,
coins, so good to see you.
Thank you. I was wondering, were there any messages for us while we were gone?
He's chewing on his lips again, that old man style.
Yeah.
Messages. Let me see here.
He kind of jumps down and rifles through some things.
Nope, not a thing.
Did anyone come in asking after us? Guards?
Well, yeah, you was.
Sequestered? Yes.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
word for it.
Yeah.
There was certainly a contingency of guards that came by.
Any of them a young woman with red hair?
One of them was.
And she left no note or message or of any kind.
Nope, just wanted to know where you went to.
She knows where-
Have you seen Sebastian at all? He wasn't in our rooms, as I suspected.
I'm pretty sure he ran. Split town. Left
That does
nothing
sound-
behind.
That does sound accurate. Yes.
Yeah, selfish prick.
I don't know. He can be handy in a pinch.
Just imagine Sebastian screaming on the inside.
Well, if you do see him again, make sure to tell him I'm very cross with him for leaving without telling me.
I'll be happy to do that.
Yes. All right. Stay safe.
You too.
I am
Fancy
going
badges
to.
you got there.
While they're
yes,
doing
we're
all that,
official now.
I see that. Yeah, I had officials staying at my place.
That's right.
Do you give a law enforcement discount?
hmm
All right.
plus 10%.
Spare no expense.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm gonna check.
place burned down or something.
Really would. Are you rustling me?
I'm not. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I already paid for security over there.
I'm sure
I'm
he
gonna
does a
check-
good job.
Yeah,
check the
biceps over there
room.
does a great job.
I'm gonna check the room that we met Hazel in,
Okay.
in like
Yeah,
in
it's a good
the
idea.
same way that we saw her
Mhm.
last time.
Ooh, okay.
She's still hanging out there.
Group check. Let's go ahead and have a group investigation here.
Before we do that, I am gonna go up to Arlen and say, she was here looking for us.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
I don't know where to place her on the board, Arlen. Do you think she's on our side?
Still hard to tell. We need to talk to her again. I think
keep
to
an
get a
eye-
good face reading,
Your eyes are keener than most. Keep an eye out for her, would you?
and I have been watching for her the whole time.
16.
Yeah. What am I doing? What
Investigation.
What
We're
are
all
we
going back in
You're
there?
rolling a group investigation check on the room.
doing?
Oh, geez, 10.
I'm
Oh,
not great
it
at
was
that.
15. It
I
was
guess
15.
Samias is a little preoccupied
Yeah,
mentally at the
I'm
moment.
not. I'm not. Yeah, thinking.
I'm
about it
not
all.
great at that.
13 total.
13.
12.
Man, I really need that proficiency bonus to go up here, guys.
I'm not even
Yeah.
proficient, so
Oh
All
man,
good.
not
Like
in
the
that.
worst roll Arlen's ever had in investigation.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I need some therapy or something like that.
Oh, no.
Nice therapy.
Arlen's had a day though. He really has.
It's been a rough one.
I mean,
Yeah, we didn't even tell Beatrice that Arlen's dad's dead.
You're right.
Either way, as you're kind of combing the room over, eventually there is a slight commotion. You hear shuffling coming up the steps. And you can turn and you can see a young boy and a very disheveled mother. Julia Lynn and her son are coming up the stairs
Uh-oh.
with one Uladar Hugh following
I was
close behind.
just thinking about Uladar. Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well
I
done,
run
Uladar.
over to her, and it's very unselfish. Give her a hug.
She kind of like
who's Uladar
Yeah, I know.
again?
and you
and I-
can see that she's kind of shocked, and she kind of just like leans and falls into it and goes, You're here.
I'm sorry it took us so long. Where is she?
Oh, Timaeus. And she just starts to sob into your shoulder.
Her daughter's not here.
Mm-mm.
What happened?
Nyala met a boy, and he said that the family was going up to Mass the next time that the beacons were lit, and so she asked, Mom, can we please go? And I said, if you want to go to church, sure. Idiot. She kind of pulls herself back, and it's at that point that you see her kind of she becomes a little more crestfallen, and then she kind of says, if it hadn't been for Uladar, I don't know that we would have escaped, but they took her. They grabbed her.
Who's they?
The Templars.
Why would they take her?
She closes her eyes. Something like apparently she has a gift or something. Supposed to be some sort of direct pupil to Verlic Star. I don't know, but wouldn't let her go.
Oh, this guy.
Crap.
No.
Well, sorry, Beatrice. Your kid's gonna have to wait for a minute.
Side
Oh
quest.
my.
Lucky for you, we're running a special this week on saving children.
Yep.
So,
Tell you what, you've never seen Timaeus get so just pale and angry, and you see him. He, ironically, he pulls out a scalpel
Oh,
and says, I'm considering things that I have not. Guys, we got to do something.
Timaeus, if there's anyone that can do this, I know that it's you, and I hate to ask this. I mean, you've been my boss for so long, but I will do
It's already-
anything if you were to get her back for me.
this
Please.
is not
This
even
is
anything you need to ask.
yeah. You know me. You know I delivered her.
I know you did.
Hmm.
You've been so good to me and my family. You see Uladar kind of shaking his head. And now you can see he's actually wearing these bluish monk's robes.
Can
Sweet.
I apologize?
Oh.
It's been a while. Can you remind me who Uladar is? I don't have
Uladar
any
is the
minutes.
individual who helped you get over to the Dusk Mines when you first left the tavern
Okay.
in the middle of the night, and he gave you the
distraction.
not only the distraction, but also the route by which to get down into the correct mine
Yeah,
to go and search for the gnolls.
he's
Nice.
a good dude.
I
He
think
also provided you the
He's
the means
Illuminate,
by
right?
which to get
Yep.
to
Yeah, and
Samich. He
Yep.
took you to Samich as the safe house.
Yeah.
And yes, he is one of the
And is-
Luminant, which is
and is
under
potentially
the Temple of
allied
Dawn.
Hazel.
under the Temple of Dawn.
They
Interesting.
are a subsect of the Temple of Dawn. Yes.
Well, I shake his hand anyway. I say thank you for getting them out. But what is going on with the bishop?
You're welcome. and it was the least that I can do. The bishop seems to have gone almost mad with power. I've never seen anything like this before.
Someone hinted that, we'll tell you more later, that he's been, what's the words, guys? He's
Abusing kids.
Oh, we know that, but more than that, he has been, some kind of other power has been infused in him. There was a hint of that with the.
He's aligned himself with dark forces while still
Yes.
maintaining his
Yes.
his masquerade of purity.
For everything the Luminants stand for, I can't believe that we were so blind to it then.
About
sorry.
that, have you seen Hazel?
Hazel, no. I haven't seen her since we first contacted. She was the one who told me to help get you to the mines.
We don't know.
Made it here
Yeah.
from Dawnside. Do you know how to get back into it?
I could get you there.
If anybody can.
Well,
What do you have in mind?
we have to go back to the temple first, but could you get
Let's
us
go
from
back.
there?
Temple Dusk?
Yes.
Yeah, I could. Interesting place to go to, though.
Well, we kind of
We
Dropping
broke
off
an
some-
alliance between Lady Stewart and.
Oh,
you meet people at a mixer, and it's,
that makes sense.
Our plans were to then continue on to the Dusk Fair and try and broker another alliance between those three factions.
that has to wait. Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Oh
pressing.
gosh, why is there always 800 things for us to do?
Well, Uladar? Okay, never mind. Never mind.
I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
I'm having a hard time collecting my thoughts. We just need your help. We need to get there.
Okay.
Where would we go? Would we go to the temple directly, or You're-
I can sneak you in. Insurgency is one of the things that the Luminant are very good at.
good?
Just tell me straight to my face, and I am watching him
Mm.
like a hawk, that you've had nothing to do with the murder of Woes.
Yeah, I'm gonna insight check
Absolutely
that.
not.
I'll
Yeah,
insight that. too.
yeah.
I got a 19.
I got a 19 as well.
Nice.
I also got a 19. So
Wow. Well, the 19s have it.
Yeah.
No, he is very stern, and you can see the look of anger in his face as he is. You see him battling with, what his order is meant to do, which is to seek out truth and expose injustice and bring light and knowledge and wisdom and guidance. And it seems as though he's pretty angered, but at the same time, you also see almost this inner stillness, this peace, a centering whereas he's conflicted, he has not questioned any of his purpose. He's just almost his resolve is sharpened, his training is kicked in.
Okay.
There's
This guy.
Arlen, there's something to be said about his stoicism.
Hmm.
It has an allure to you right here in this moment.
Okay. I'm gonna
Hey.
notate that and keep it in mind.
We can.
All right.
I tell him
Um,
Uladar. We can.
I-
Once we get into the castle district. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Arlen. Go ahead.
No. Please,
Uh,
continue. Go ahead.
Well, no, we can. We have free reign in the castle district. So if you should need to get into the castle through up the wall, if that would be easier, I don't know what route you would take, but
I
We
can
have
get you to the
Chuma's-
temple courtyard.
yeah,
We have
however you can
8
get us there.
Chumas.
Chumas? They would draw too much attention for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Magnificent beasts, but I don't think
Yeah.
we need them where we're
We
going.
should, as we drop off the others to the temple,
Let's-
we should drop a note
let's-
to the lady.
Yes. Let's go back to the temple. Inform Twyla. She can inform Lady Stewart
Lady Stewart.
of the
that.
change of plan, and then we sleep, and then we go
and break into Dawnside.
I think that might be smart. Unless if you guys wish to try and, before we sleep, broker an alliance with
It's like 2 in the morning, right? It's like-
Yeah, it's like almost 3 a.m. at this point.
All right. Well.
Getting tired.
Okay.
let's
I
get
just
some
hope
sleep.
that our allies
We're gonna
don't
start
end up-
accumulating exhaustion here in a minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're
You
on
took
like
a-
a regular sleep.
Well,
we took a
you
short
took-
rest. We
you
took a
took-
short rest.
Well, here's the deal. You took a long rest in the earlier afternoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So,
Well, I don't know. Will she be open? We want to put our best foot forward, and I don't know if
It's
you know,
also
4
Yeah,
a.m. is
right
I
probably
just-
towards
the
the
best idea.
beginning of all of this stuff taking place, so very few people are sleeping at all.
Yeah.
That's true.
The city is actively devolving and segregating.
I know the urgency of us getting into Dawnside and resolving this issue immediately, but at the same time, I would feel
We
much
can
better
maybe
if
at
we would
least-
at least get terms from Eliza,
Start the conversation at least.
and then we can rest overnight and then infiltrate. Because imagine if we're able to have a 3-way alliance, and then we can manage to bring down the Temple of Dawn all within 8 hours. That would be a serious chunk of the city back in order.
Listen, guys, I'll let you decide. With Beatrice's patience, who am I to stay something different?
I recognize how it will be less than 24 hours than until we attack the Dawn. That will be the next thing we do, no matter
Well, we
what.
made-
I think.
I think we made Cal the leader for a reason.
Let's
So-
Let's.
do what you must.
Well, Turpin will look at the group and you'd be like, you guys are the thinkers and the talkers, and look up at Uladar and be like, if you guys don't mind, maybe Uladar and I can go scout out a couple of things while you guys go talk at the Dusk Fair. Would that be?
Not even opposed to that. I think that would
That's
be really
actually
smart.
a pretty good idea, Turpin.
Maybe you, Uladar, and Arlen?
I was going to volunteer to go with them. Yes.
I think.
Since
there
when
was
is
a time
splitting the
to
party a
split-
bad
to
idea?
Well,
But I think this might be the best time to do it. At the very least,
Yeah.
you guys might be able to get information.
No, I agree.
At least just get some information.
And then we can be attacking 2 things on our mini to-do list.
And we
Jeez.
can regroup back at the Temple of Dusk.
Yeah. Just try to make it better than our infiltration into the casino. But then again, I won't be there, so it should work better.
No, that was more my fault than yours, I think. But yeah, we can do that.
All right. I think that sounds like a plan.
I like this better than doing one by one, but I also recognize the danger.
well, hopefully the diplomacy won't be that dangerous.
But I am gonna need a break though, because I'm about to pop like a water balloon.
You heard it here,
That's a weird
folks.
thing.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope. We're going for realism, Jared. You may not stop. This
You're
is how
right.
we feel. We're exhausted.
We are going to take a little bit of a bio break here, and we will be back before too long. So, see you soon. And we're back. Welcome to the fireside, the fables. Well, okay.
One the
That's
time
been it,
stamp. 2 times stamp.
Still one of the better videos on YouTube is the count censored.
No.
Best Sesame Street character. Come at me.
Oh yeah.
The Count.
It's so
All
good.
the way.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Because nothing he's saying is actually foul, but
Mhm.
The Elmo censored one is pretty good too.
oh yes.
So Steve Corp and I, our kids both loved Daniel Tiger at the same time, and we used to unnecessarily censor Daniel Tiger songs.
Oh no.
Our friends, our favorite was "Friends Help Each Other,"
Oh no.
Oh no.
and so we started singing "Friends Each Other." Yes, they do.
You know you really want to feel old for all of you out there? Daniel
Sure.
Tiger is a Mr. Rogers spinoff.
Yes, it
he
is. Yes, it is. Yeah, Daniel was his little tiger puppet that was
One of the
ultimately
puppets.
It was kind of
Yep.
him. That was his
Mhm.
childlike personality inside. Yeah, fascinating individual, Mr. Rogers. I
Yeah.
wish that you could play
Fred
D&D with him.
Rogers, yeah.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
that'd
I
be
know.
cool.
It's
We'd
when
love
the-
to be
when
your
these-
neighbor.
These puppets get egos and they want to break off. I understand. You know, it's
Want to go solo?
gotta go solo. That's right.
It's like
That's
when the
right.
band
He's
breaks
having, he
up.
does keep having. Fred Rogers does keep having these manic moments where he imagines himself in a puppet kingdom. He might be schizophrenic.
Yeah. I never liked this.
But
puppet
in like
thing.
the most wholesome kind of way.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Either way.
Well, he got that he had like a blind child that watched his program.
Yeah.
And she wrote in
Well.
like worried that he wasn't always feeding the fish.
Oh.
so that's why in
That's
his intro
adorable.
from then on he always said, "I'm feeding the fish now."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
That's sweet.
He's he
Yeah,
just
he's a
he
good man.
knew he
Yeah.
knew
Yeah.
how to connect with children
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
coolest, safest way. Unlike Verlick Star, we're back. We're
I was
going.
gonna say,
let's go.
let's go ahead
The
and
antithesis of Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
Oh my word.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He knows how to connect with them in a different way.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're
It ain't
gonna
much-
we're gonna
much
take
more
care
legal
of
way.
some of Mr. Rogers. I'm telling you.
Mito Raja.
Yeah, that's right.
Daryl
Anyway.
Philbin? Question mark.
All
All right. Well, either way, we come back into the scene as the group is splitting off into two. The first group down is the Dusk Fair split off. So this will be, I believe, Tamias, Elias, and Cal. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, so the three of you make your way down first and begin to head out. Is Beatrice coming now, or
Yeah, I think we'll take her with
But I
us.
think
now.
we'll move
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna move the families to the temple.
families are going with you
Yeah.
then? Okay,
I figured we're all doing that, and then
Well,
break off?
depending
Well, you're
on
closer
Well-
to where you're closer to it where you.
No,
need
that's
to go
fair.
now.
Yeah,
Wherever,
okay.
wherever old
Yeah.
Uldar wants, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the interesting second point. As Uladar, Arlen, and Turpin begin to kind of make your plans, you begin to head downstairs, and Arlen, you're leading the way, and in one of those rare moments where your mind is kind of just focused on certain things, you accidentally shoulder someone, and you are the one who bounces off. Despite how tall you are, your lean frame, the individual, probably some 6'6", easily 300 pounds. You see the green skin, black hair, dreadlocked back into a single pony. You see an orc, full-blooded orc, and
Murdered?
he carries no,
Hmm.
he
Oh, you were
carries
dead.
he carries with him a utility belt, and on it he has multiple smith's tools. And as you kind of bump into him, he goes, "My apologies. So sorry."
Hmm.
He kind of looks and turns. Harduk Songsteel.
Nice to meet you. I'm apologize myself. I was not looking where I was going.
You seem like you're going out of this building.
Yes, we were just about to step out.
The ones who just went out, friends of yours?
Yes. Are part of our team.
Can I ask a favor?
If I can help, I will.
My home. I am unable to get to it. It is in the Dusk Mines section of town. Dwarves don't like me very much. I'm not asking you to take me into the Dusk Mine, but I can't really get to my business in the Dusk Fair either. Don't have much to do. If you're doing something about getting the streets back in order, I would help you.
Sweet.
Okay. Well, we can definitely use more hands.
I'm a
We'll
blacksmith
definitely
by
help you get
trade,
to where
so
you
I
need to
know
go.
how to use a hammer.
Well, that could definitely come in handy.
Excellent. Well, then consider me yours.
Turpin kind of looks him up and down and goes,
Yeah, Turpin.
How sneaky can you be? This is we're not exactly wanting to draw attention to
So
ourselves.
up and down, you go up.
Yeah. Pretty much just up and up. It's,
His utility belt could make a little bit of noise, but at the same
Yeah.
time, from the waist up, he's not wearing anything. He is like completely shirtless, but he's got these he's got decently armored legs, kind of that come all the way down and greaves, but honestly, you see where he's muffled the armor.
nice.
He's a decent smith.
Okay.
And it has an orcish look to it, so it's kind of this really cool, like jagged aesthetic.
Cal, I think I found a guy that can do your plate.
It's a shame I left.
Right, yeah.
You see,
Turpin's
you
like,
see
we might
Cal
have to
stop
talk
on her
after
while
this.
we're walking.
He's like-
You see Cal stop and go, I sense a disturbance. In the force."
Quick! I need full plate armor stat.
I need 20 cc's of plate armor. Stats.
I got a prescription
And I need you to fill it, doctor.
for more plate.
So Turpin,
John
Turpin sees
Travolta,
all-
or anyway. Anyway.
Turpin sees all that and is like,
That was walking.
so he'll reach underneath
The
his
walking
cloak, pull out
plan.
a sickle, and just kind of deftly just kind of twirl it in his hands for a second and be like, we might have to talk after this.
Looking to upgrade.
Maybe.
I'm capable, but my smithy is in the Dusk Fair.
Well.
That's for discount.
So he'll just kind of flurry it and put it back in the bag. We'll talk after we get this done. What's your name again?
Harduke.
Harduke. I like that. Turpin Hardfoot.
Hardfoot.
Hardfoot. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We shall become the Hardy Brothers.
Hey,
Oh no!
let's ring to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
Man.
Hardy Boys is taken.
That's right.
We'll be the Hardy Bros.
Hardy Bros.
And this guy looks like a gym bro. And mixed,
Yeah, how
and
ripped is he?
this guy is straight Chad. I mean,
hell yeah! Let's go, brother.
he's ready.
Have you seen?
The sides of his jaw have six packs.
Have you seen Free
He
Guy?
uses both of his tusks to just like pierce the beer can.
Have you seen?
This guy could probably lift the anvil if we're being real honest.
Oh man, there you go. You seen
his
Free
morning
Guy?
workout.
You see the guy at the end of Free Guy?
Oh,
the
yeah.
the
Yeah.
unfinished
Oh.
buffer version. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
That's
Either way, he looks like he can crack some skulls.
Sweet.
And is stocky as all get out.
Hell yeah.
believe.
Uladar, do you approve?
I won't turn down the help so long as you're nice and quiet. I'll do my best.
Okay, odd. How do you look in a cloak?
Why do you ask?
we're gonna get our cult on, if you know what I mean.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Uh,
You make more money as a leader, but you have more fun as a follower.
Oh man.
Thanks, Creed. Here we go. All right. Which group are we doing first?
I say do their group first.
Okay. Well, off you go. Eventually, you reach the border of the the Temple of Dust District, and Uladar gets over to a spot and opens up a barrel off on the side and pulls out multiple cloaks, all of which have Temple of Dawn regalia on them, and says, "Hold on to these. Don't put them on just yet. Carry it around. We're gonna stick to the shadows. We have to sneak through here. I've got a friend who's keeping watch at the gate up ahead." And he kind of turns, looks in, and says, "Hold up." And then you wait for a Templar to pass with a full group of, so to speak, like militia behind him. He kind of looks. All right, here we go. And you begin to walk over towards where the gate is at, and the gate will actually lead you into Murder of Woe territory. And he kind of gets up to it and kind of wipes his brow and looks over to the side, which immediately cues the guard to swing the door open, the side door, not the main gate, but the side door. And he kind of steps in, and all four of you walk in. And he says, "Okay, time to put on the cloaks." And so you put on these hooded robes and cloaks and things. And now stepping out into...
I'm assuming, of course, we found a halfling-sized one.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yep. Unless you wanted to ride Harduk's back or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Put my cloak on.
Princess
it's like-
Bride! Do Princess Bride!
Oh, yes.
I'm the Dwayne Pie with Wobbers. Come for your soul.
We could just
That's
pretend
like the 8th time we've referenced that.
I don't care.
No, right. Every episode, I think. We could pretend Harduk's a hunchback, and I could just kind of ride on his shoulder.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Be the tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not too
All
I
right.
actually kind of like that idea, because if we have to lose the cloaks, I'm in an elevated position and just kind of Anyway,
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right. So, continuing through, Harduk kind
Does
of
he get
bends
height
over.
advantage from shooting off of Harduk's shoulders?
No,
I have the high ground.
Yes, the high ground.
but now we need a baby Bjorn for him.
Oh, can you imagine? Like if he was strapped to his chest and he's got those
Blacksmith's
crossbows out there.
I'm
we just
imagining
changed D&D.
Harduk.
That's
has,
a
like,
very
the chain-
different fastball special.
Yeah.
Harduk has like the chain hammers that you can throw and call
Yeah.
back. Like,
He's got a pretty decent warhammer at his side,
That's
and he's
awesome.
kind of
Alright.
using it. He's kind of using it as a cane right now. He's going with the hunchback thing
There you
for
go.
the time being.
Okay.
And he's doing a decent job at it too. So it kind of covers up the fact that he's not the stealthiest in the group, but it does kind of make him seem a little more like, mothers are kind of moving their kids. Okay, honey, over here, it's across the street.
Sanctuary.
I like it.
Either way, you're kind of moving through, and the interesting thing about the center part of these districts is there's not a whole lot of people that are out. People are staying in their homes that aren't out fighting, and most of the time within a revolution, you get maybe 30 to 40% at most. Like, that's a huge amount of people that'll be out doing stuff. The rest of the population seemingly just wants nothing to do with this. So, kind of crossing over, you can see where the walls keep going, and you know that just on the other side of them would be the theater district itself, the headquarters of the Murder of Woes. And Uladar kind of shakes his head and he points down an alleyway that's going to lead you in a slightly different direction to go cut through underneath and around and then up into the farm districts. So it takes you a solid at this point, you've probably come 45 minutes to an hour. It's going to take you another 45 to another hour to get up to the point where you actually reach a lift. And eventually you do, and the lift comes down, and you can see Templar that are controlling the lift. And Uladar kind of pulling the hood off the cloak. He says, I come with special orders from Verlick. Take us up. And the Templar kind of do the little salute, step to the side, allow you on, and then pull and allow the lift to go up to the top. And as you now step off into the Dawn side once again, into the Dawn district, as it were, you can see massive groups of people that are wandering the streets, all of them wearing these Dawn robes, as it were. Whites with golds, oranges, pinks, purples, and light blues that kind of fracture and fragment off these beautiful colors and associations with the rising of the sun. And continuing to weave and make your way through, eventually you reach the courtyard of the temple itself, and you can see really this mass spectacle. The colored tiles, again, that kind of stretch up towards the temple itself. And Uladar kind of turns and looks around, and as he's doing so, he's looking over to the side, and he says, all right, so what's the plan? Are we doing reconnaissance, or do we want to try and get her out?
I say we just kind of recon. If we see the opportunity, let's take it. But I think primarily we're just gathering information.
Yes.
Very well.
We don't want to tip our hand too soon.
Very well.
No need to kick the hornet's nest, if you know what I mean.
I understand. Okay. All right, let's go in. And he turns and begins to lead you up into the temple. And as you're getting in there, eventually you get into the mass stadium, which you can see there's actually some commotion down towards the center, towards the bottom where Verlick normally would preach from. And you can see the mass number of pews and seats, the stadium arrangement that is here. There is a central walkway that leads all the way up, and a couple of fountains down towards the front stage. But you can see there are individuals with chalk that are actually drawing on the marble stone, just off to the right from where the pedestal is. And over to the side, you can see individuals lounging on couches. And you can see quite a few workers, individuals that are, again, wearing these robes. Some of them have hoods up, some of them have hoods down. But people are bringing food and drink to some of the different workers. And there is there's that sense of community. And in this case, it's not a good one. It's eerie.
Got some real Kool-Aid vibes going on. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Wouldn't
Got
be
some-
surprised.
Far Cry 5.
Oh, oh God. Get out of there. Get out of there right now.
Game still gives me the creeps.
As it should.
Yeah.
Looking around for, I guess, can I roll perception, see if I see anything
Sure.
relevant or
Yeah,
important?
same.
Yeah, sure. Perception check.
Yeah, 11.
9 for the total of 16.
16 total. Okay. Yeah, you still got to learn what good is, man.
Yeah. He's like,
Anything over a 15 is
Nine.
pretty golden.
Arlen, what roll a general intelligence check for me. Unless, are you proficient at all with any kind of arcana?
No.
Okay, then roll just a general intelligence for me. Okay.
9.
There's something vaguely, it's not familiar, but you have a kind of a sense that the thing with the chalks, you've seen that before. You remember some of the things from court chalks and circles. There was something that can be done magically with it, but you're not exactly sure.
So then I'll
Good.
kind of lean over
Yeah.
to Uladar a little bit and kind of whisper to him, "Have you seen anything like that with the chalk?"
And you can see that he actually wasn't paying attention to it. He was looking off elsewhere. He goes, "Good eye." Roll a check for him. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a summoning circle, but who's to say?
That sounds delightful.
Summon what?
I don't know. They
That's bad.
can be used either for calling things in or for getting things out. Either way, we need to move. We can't linger long. He kind of leads you around the arena just a little further, and there's a group that's coming, so you kind of bend down and pick up a couple of the boxes and begin to carry and lift and haul things. Uladar kind of leading the charge, and he kind of turns and puts them down, and it's in that moment that you can see someone kind of looking your way. Roll an insight check for me, Arlen.
Oh, natural 20. There you go. 27.
Nice.
Okay, you see the individual is kind of there's a look on their face that almost is like this. You know what a schoolyard bully looks like, and you know that the individual that's coming over is jockeying for a position of power because he doesn't recognize you. The best way to play this off is going to be to head him off at the pass and assert your dominance over him. That's what your natural 20 is telling you right now.
Okay.
Please sick Harduke on him.
So I'm gonna be like, elbow Harduke a little bit. It's like we need to seriously intimidate this guy right here.
So speaking of that, in my head, Harduke has one of these.
yeah.
But it's brass plated. So
Oh God!
And the guy coming at you is like the karate
Crack your
kid
head like
bad-
an egg.
The karate kid,
Yeah.
the enemy karate teacher who's like got a chip on his shoulder and he's
The make his
Right.
knuckles bleed guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, there you go. So he starts to come up, and you know that you've got to get the first words in if you want to have some sort of advantage over him. But Harduke kind of growls before he gets over. He says, "I'll follow your lead."
Go for
So,
it, Cody. You got
um,
this.
I step right in front of him, and I kind of shoulder him, and I say, "Watch where you're walking."
You watch where you're walking, punk. Do you know who you're talking to?
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter.
At which
Ooh,
point,
good line.
Harduke reaches out, like he's curled over in this kind of stance, and he kind of gives a little nudge to Turpin to shift his weight, and then he stands upright, grabs the guy by the shirt, lifts him off the ground, brings the hammer to his face, and says, "I'd listen to him if I were you." And the guy just, huh.
Do you have an orc? Because I don't think you do.
6'6" orc.
My friend here doesn't like your attitude, and I have to say I don't either. So I'm pretty sure you're going to cooperate with us, aren't you?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what we need is what is it exactly we need here?
Trying to find out where they're keeping the kids.
Looking for where they took the girl.
Right. We are looking for somebody specific. A friend of ours, a young girl.
All them, you know, it's behind in the special preparation chambers.
Maybe you'd like to show us the way.
Well, I mean, if you go down there, you can get to it from the stage itself, but if you were to go out, you don't have to disturb the bishop. You seem like you're pretty important and you got some things that you're doing. Go out and then you can access through the side door. They bring in all of the wardrobe stuff from that point.
would you like to walk with us?
No, not really.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not giving you a choice.
All right.
Walk.
And he sets him down. He held him like a foot in the air, sets him down, and then comes back down into his crouching, like, hunchback position and begins to walk. The guy turns and begins to lead you out and out to the side, and you can see where there are a few Templar that are moving a couple of crates and boxes by that door. And he kind of walks up and goes, Verlic Star's orders, we need to carry these crates out to the front. They are preparing for the large-scale sacrifice. We need the lambs. Very well. They begin to haul some of the crates out to the side and vacate that door. And he kind of turns and kind of just gives you a nod, and he kind of begins to take off running to the side.
So Turpin kind of whispers underneath Harduk's clothes, like, "Oh crap!
Yeah.
Well, this just became a rescue mission."
Dang it. I reach out before he hopefully gets too far, and I try to grab the back of his shirt.
Dexterity save for me.
Come on, you got good dex. I know you do.
I do. Oh, that could have been bad. 18.
18. Yeah, you grab him. He kind of like clotheslines himself a little bit. And kind of, I'm sorry, what else do you need?
I need you to stay with us because I don't trust your wagging tongue to tell that that we are looking for this person. So you're coming with us.
Oh, right, all right. Fine.
Guys, I think we found Cody's superpower.
So, you begin to move over to the side. As you open the door, you can see multiple individuals are standing there, actually stacking crates on top of themselves. They're opening a couple of them and pulling out robes. And you're taking a look, and all of them are very young looking. These are easily teenagers. And there's just this sense of, you see some of them are almost like, cool, I've got a job here. There's other kids. Like, there's a place to hang out. Just completely unaware. Others are petrified of this room.
Okay. I
How
need to
old
do
is-
a perception. Yeah.
How old is the little girl that's missing? What's her name?
Nyala is 13.
13, yeah,
Ayala.
she's a teenager.
Well, I know her pretty
Yeah.
well
Right.
because we
You
traveled all the way
traveled
from
with her.
Florida, So
Right.
You traveled
No,
with
I
her.
was-
Yeah.
I was.
Do I see her?
You're the one that's going to be looking for her.
Roll
I'm
a perception
thinking-
check for me.
I'm wondering if the cloak that Turpin grabbed is going to be able to fit her or not.
Yeah, but guys, we need to hurry on this. If there's
Mhm.
circles,
14.
sacrifice, and kids,
Yeah.
nothing
I know,
good's
I know,
coming
I
on
know.
the other end of that
Yeah.
thing.
Mission
I got a
parameters
14.
change.
Yes.
14.
Splitting
You're
the
kind of-
party might have been a huge mistake.
Yeah.
You're peering around and taking a look at this, and there's so many kids in this room. There's easily like 150, 200 kids that are as you're kind of walking in, you see off to the sides almost like this backstage area, almost like, you know, the set crew of a large theater production. They're up in some of the riggings, moving things around and getting things placed. You're not seeing her in this area.
So I'm going to go back to our new friend and say, is there any other place that that there might be some other young children besides here?
I don't know. What, other than Verlick's chambers themselves? I don't know.
And where are those?
Fucking take him out.
I don't know.
Take him out.
Assassination.
Brendan, can I see anything from underneath that cloak?
You see a whole lot of sword back.
Yeah.
You can kind of shift. You can
Pair
shift the
4,
hood a
pair
little
5?
bit.
Right.
You can shift the hair a little, or the cloak hood a little
Okay.
bit to be able to see out, but your visibility is very
Yeah.
poor. You're mostly
Okay.
relying on sound at this point.
Yeah. Okay. I was hoping to be
But-
able to.
If there was anybody who could pass for teenage, no, not teenage height, not
Yeah,
quite.
not quite.
Have they kidnapped any toddlers?
Yeah.
You don't see him that short.
No.
Besides his what did you call it? Extreme glandular problem.
Yeah.
Beard being what it is.
Have to have a really big cloak and hood. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say something like, if you don't know anything else, then we have no further need of you. And I'll kind of nod my head to Harduk and kind of as a signal to knock him out or
Harduk
take care
takes,
of him.
grabs, brings him around behind a curtain, and you hear a sickening thud.
Yeah. Again, Princess Bride.
Yep.
Turpin,
Easy
because
way.
you were around the corner, you could see him push the guy into the wall and take his hammer, the top end of his hammer, and just thud right at the crest of the brow. Just
Ooh.
bonks him
Hit
right
the
there.
off button.
Oh, and it's lights out for this guy completely and
Yeah.
totally.
Guys,
pat him on the shoulder, be like, "Good job."
Arlen befriended a Wookiee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
This is awesome.
All right.
Nice.
This is your retainer, buddy.
Yep.
I'm
let's-
excited. Yeah.
Tara's arms off.
I was
Yeah.
missing a Baldur type character, and we got him.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we definitely found one.
The orc blacksmith.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually hop off of his shoulder now that we're kind of behind a curtain
Okay.
for a second, and kind of open it a little bit and kind of wave Arlen in, so we
Okay.
can chat for a second.
Yeah. We need to figure this out quick because we're running short on time here. Whatever it is they're doing.
I guess an Uladar too. So
Oh yeah, Uladar is thoroughly creeped out by this, but he goes, I have quick means for us to escape if we're detected, so don't worry.
I'm thinking, what can we do? Like, it's infuriating me to see all these kids around here. What is there some kind of like big distraction that we could take? We could make to blow the lid off this place and just kind of chaos and escape in the.
I'm
I
not
was thinking
sure
the
how we
same
would
thing.
get all of them out of here without some sort of mass detection event, but I might have a means of securing all of them within the halls of luminance if we are able to get them out.
Okay. Well, there's got to be. I mean, they light the beacons to call everybody to mass, right? So there's got to be a lot of oil around here somewhere, or whatever they
The
use.
beacons... No, the beacons are lit magically.
Oh.
Hmm.
I know how to light them.
Do you now?
You do.
I do.
That could be useful.
I have to get to the top of the tower, though.
And to what end? What are we going to do once they're lit?
Well, that's what I'm
First,
hoping.
If you would have to get these kids out of here,
Yeah.
and then you have to make further into the dawn.
Who wants free candy?
All right. Well, and because that's the hard part is we got to get them into the dawn. We can't just like jump over the cliff and down into safe territory.
No, you... Unfortunately, there's... I would have to meet you, and then I could guide the rest of the children to the safe place. It'd be risky. You would have to either come with us or provide a bit of a distraction and then escape yourselves and get back to your group. But I wouldn't be able to go with you. I'd have to safe harbor them within the halls of luminance.
I understand.
We're not there, guys. This is your call.
Yeah. Well, Turpin's
think-
going to kind of look at Arlen and be like, I'm good with making a distraction to get these kids out of here if you are.
I'm thinking, yeah, we
I
need
don't
to try
recommend
something.
staying and fighting. You need
No,
to
no, no, no.
escape
No.
as quickly as you
Yes.
can.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
They
Yeah,
will
we're-
they will burn you at the stake and
You know that
celebrate
saying?
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know that saying's like, choose the hill you're gonna die on. This is
Mhm.
the hill, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, definitely.
let's go for a distraction. So what do we need to
Did Cal
do
retcon himself to
besides
be there?
a distraction? What are we? So I'm gonna do a perception check just to see if I can see anything that would help us.
Yeah, same. That's what I
Okay.
was
Yeah.
going to do too. I mean,
well,
if
you
there's-
probably would have a better view if you were to climb some of the rafters and either take looks out over the mass
Okay.
arena like temple
Yeah.
interior
Because
or
it's kinda
out into
crowded.
the exterior.
Yeah, let's get bird's eye view if we can.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll
So all of
climb.
you instinctively kind of climb up and get into a position where you can start to look over. Okay, roll perception checks for me.
Take a good shot at
That's better. 23.
Bishop.
23. Okay.
15.
There's the
Okay,
ranger.
15.
That's the ranger working out
Yeah.
there, buddy. Yeah.
All right. Turpin, as you are looking out, you can actually see there are large lines from the top of the one of the ramparts of the temple building itself. It looks like you could it looks like it could be used for a makeshift zip line.
Like a rope. Okay.
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 You got some options here, guys. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, Turpin? Let's.
Well, I
How would
imagine
we
that's
use-
I imagine that's a mooring line. I mean, is that there for support?
No, this is it's rope.
It's rope.
Okay.
You see that it's actually a dual rope system, either probably attached to some pulley. Who knows if it's part of the
Ooh.
laundry system or...
Gotcha. Okay.
But it
Let's-
stretches a long way, and you could absolutely use, if you were to grab, sturdy towels or other ropes, you could use it as a sort of zip line.
Folks. So
Okay.
that seemed like might be our getaway.
Yeah. Let's.
Once the fun happens. But as far as like causing a ruckus, I don't want to set the whole city on fire again or anything like that. But
No, but we're gonna get Uladar to light
light the beacons.
the beacons. Then let's see if we can get these kids out of here
Well,
On
that's
on this.
that's the trick, is we get the distraction. We get hopefully the guards scattered off to run wherever to find out why the beacons are lit.
What if this room was set on fire?
I mean,
That's
if we're as high up
Something-
as we are, that'll definitely get everybody's attention.
You see Harduk pulls out flint and steel.
Hey, all right.
is there anything flammable in the room?
There's wood rafters that lead all up around the
Yeah, the
outside,
building.
the backstage.
The building is
Just the
flammable.
building itself. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
The curtains?
It's like
Oh, you
instead-
could
yeah, like
totally, you
curtains
could
and-
totally wrap some.
Hey, you go
curtains
get
around
that
the
unconscious bully guy. He's flammable.
Yeah.
banisters.
Well, nothing gonna make a panic and a ruckus more like a body falling out of the sky. So
yeah. Let's
could
wrap
get
him
our-
up and.
Oh, gosh.
Man, they get dark without us. Governor.
we can
Send him like send him
so-
swinging like a flaming ghost.
So remind me. So I'm kind of looking at the map. I've got kind of the map pulled up and zoomed in on the whole Temple of Dusk area.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So we're
imagine-
at the temple.
Temple of
right?
Temple of Dawn.
Temple of Dawn. Sorry,
Yes.
we're at the Temple of Dawn,
Yes, you are.
and we're in kind of a spire overlooking the grounds, or
You're overlooking out towards you would be looking northward right now, overlooking some of a couple of the other blocks that are out there.
okay.
Yeah, you could reach the rooftops pretty easily using the zip line.
All right, but we haven't
Imagine
found
if
a.
you guys managed to capture the bishop and then hang him in front of
Oh, I know.
everybody.
I was gonna say we haven't found Ayala yet. So do we need to reconnoiter some more? And he's using big words. He wants to sound smart right now, without Elias around.
Charlatan bottom a word of the day calendar.
Yeah.
Reconnoiter.
Like I don't think he's far. He can't be too far away. This is
No.
where all the magic happens. So
He'd probably be heavily guarded.
that's true. So do we wait until he comes out to do all this, or do we just use time? Time is of the essence, and we get.
I
this
think
and...
time is of the essence. I think we need to move on this plan pretty quick.
If there's a fire, I think it forces everyone's hand to get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
light it up.
All
Looks
right.
like fire.
Hit it up.
Uladar, do you approve? Does this sound like a good idea? So we grab our friend from downstairs.
This temple's on fire.
We grab our friend from downstairs. We light a couple of fires around here in the temple, throw him out the window, and you go light the beacons all at the same time.
I don't know that I'm down for murdering.
Murder.
I thought he was already dead.
No, he got
Oh,
knocked
okay.
out.
Okay. I thought he was
Oh.
already dead.
No.
So, okay, I take that back.
Oh,
then.
okay.
Yeah.
That's why
Sorry.
we said it was dark.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Okay, he's just knocked out. Okay, I thought he was
He's
already
unconscious.
dead.
He's
Okay.
unconscious.
All right. Well, he
Um,
might die in the fire if he stays there. Anyway,
I mean, if he's already dead,
We
That's
can't
what I
worry
was
about
saying.
him too-
that's what
we
I
can't
said.
worry about him
He's
too much.
not dead yet.
I mean, how much?
Oh,
how many times do you find a
Oh, man.
useful, situation for a corpse?
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Yikes.
Exactly.
Either way,
Unless you are one.
Uladar says,
I can light fires elsewhere. I have some means for doing that. So we could make this seem like some sort of coordinated effort that might freak them out enough that they would feel the need to evacuate.
I think that's
Okay.
probably the best. What we've got with our tools,
Multi-prong attack. Yes.
we could confuse them and distract them long enough to go get the rest of the guys, bring back the group, and really hit this thing properly.
What did you say the name of the girl was?
Ayala.
Nyala. Okay.
Nyala,
Let's
sorry.
let's ask some of the other individuals down here that might know her. If she's made a couple of friends, they might be able to tell her to escape with them. Because I
Okay.
don't know that we're going to be able to grab her if she's in Verlick's chambers. But if in a
That is
panic she
true.
can slip away with a group of teens, we might be better off. I don't know. I'm speculating here.
Well, that's the better plan than
That-
none.
That's I think the best option for sure.
Very well. All right.
So
So you're going to light fires in here, start escorting the kids out, and then you're going to climb and get out on the zip line.
Yes.
I
Yes.
will light the beacons, create panic that way, set my own fires. Wait for the beacons to start lighting your fire. Once you hear people calling that the beacons are lit, then start to light your fire. I'm going
That
to
sounds
ask some of
great.
the kids downstairs if any of them know Nyala. So
That sounds good. Do you have any other men in the area?
there are a few agents here and there, but I don't know where they're at.
Okay.
Command is a little scattered at the moment.
That's fair. That's
Besides being loyal to the Dusk, I haven't had a chance to meet with Bianca yet. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was
right.
just wondering. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I was wondering if we hollered out the bishop is dead, the bishop is dead, if that might
I don't
create
know.
a little more chaos, if anybody'd even hear us. I don't know.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't think exposing your voices is the greatest of plans. Besides,
no.
I think you guys are just.
We're
gonna
trying to
eliminate
sneak
here.
out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Before
if you can
Oh.
make it off to the side and away from the pandemonium, hang your robes from the rooftop, and I will come find you and try and get you back to your party.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I'll do what I
So-
can, or at least I'll send someone. No, I don't trust anybody else. I'll have others watching over the pupils, and I'll come get you myself.
That sounds good.
So
So we've
before
tried
Uladar leaves, I stop him and I hold out my hand in friendship and I say, I really appreciate your level-headedness in this situation and your counsel. It's been invaluable.
Thank you. You seem to be quite knowledgeable on a lot of things. Have you ever
Well,
considered
it's-
working for an agency?
I have had experiences working for groups in the past, but it's never worked out well.
Crews or agencies? Very different things.
No, it has not been an agency, but I would definitely be very interested. But we might
Keep the
need to
limited in
discuss
mind.
that at a later time.
Yes. My level-headedness was learned. It would do you some well
Yes.
too.
I feel like I
If we
could
survive
benefit from
this,
that.
let's continue the conversation.
Of course.
Good luck.
Good fortune.
And he turns and begins to head down the ladder. And you see him kind of weaving through and whispering to a couple of them. Some of the ones that look truly frightened and intimidated, like he has an idea, like get the ones that want to get out, let them know.
Yeah.
And you see them start to be looking up and around, and they see you and kind of give you like this thumbs up. And Uladar eventually, it's about 15 minutes. He reaches one and then he looks up at you and he gives you a nod. And then he
Okay,
begins to make his way out. So you kind of get that feeling, okay, it's getting close to game time.
Sure.
It's about 5 minutes later that all of a sudden pandemonium erupts, as all of a sudden you can hear this bell gonging and someone calls out, "Someone's lit the beacons!"
All right,
Okay,
Harduk.
well, that's
Harduk takes the flint and steel and he's gathered a rope and he found a little pan of oil and dipped the rope in oil and set it now to the side, curled it up around some of the wood that's there and strikes the flint a few times, finally catching a really good spray. Then it fans out and catches really quick. He bends down, begins to blow on it, and immediately it catches fire and begins to flame and spread. And he kind of looks up and goes, we gotta go. And begins to run. And this man running, I mean,
I
this
got
is-
good news and bad news.
Big good.
Good news
Yeah.
is I set the fire. Bad news is I set
Bad
the
news-
fire.
Yeah.
But you can start to see some of the teens like pointing up and freaking their
Yeah.
fellow teens out almost on
Yeah.
purpose to kind of incite them to get off to the side. And those that knew anything knew that they needed to run to the side and actually lead the charge in setting the stampede off to the side. So
Yeah.
all of that begins to happen. And the group just begins to they begin their mass exodus, this stampede out of this area. And the building now catches fire faster. You can see it rising up, and you begin to run up the rafters even more, eventually reaching the window. And even then, you can feel the heat of the flames starting to come up. You know you don't have long before it reaches even the line itself. So you
get
instinctively
going.
grab. You see these metal hooks off to the side, and each of you kind of grab one instinctively. Harduk grabs Turpin, throws him on his back, and then grabs two of the hooks and jumps over, placing them together here, and goes flying, soaring out of this now on this makeshift zip line. Arlen, you grab one and you do the same, flying over the street below. You're easily some 60 feet off of the ground, and as you're sliding through, you can hear all of the cries behind you as now you are fully escaping into the dawn. And there off the side, you can see an individual has leapt from the top of the building. The cloak spreads out to the side and catches the wind, and he slowly descends, almost flying like a bat on the night, turning off to the side and veering, landing
He's got cloak of the bat. He's got cloak of death. That's awesome.
to where the children are at, lands, pulls the cloak in and begins to lead them off, and sees as you're kind of getting over to the side on your zip line, you land at the top of the building. He notes where you're at, and he turns and begins to sprint, leading the children off.
Oh, dope. We've
That's
been working with
awesome.
Bruce Wayne the whole time.
Man, Uladar's legit.
That's dope. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And so you stay now towards the top of the building and kind of just hunker down. You take the spare
Cloak.
cloak and
Cloak.
set it over the side, just barely. And it's maybe some 45 minutes to an hour later that Uladar actually comes up. You can hear a ruckus on the other side of the building, and you see Uladar kind of pull himself over the top. He's not in the best shape of his life, but he's also fit enough that, you know, he's not held down by a lot of mass. And as he kind of pulls himself over the top and rolls over, you can see him like he's breathing real heavy, trying to catch his breath. He's,
Alfred. Oh,
I
wait.
really got it. I got up my cardio. My blood pressure's through the roof. Oh,
Yeah, lay off the
let's,
donut.
let's take a nap right here.
Before you pass out there, Uladar, one, good job.
Thank you.
Two,
You guys did really good too.
Thank you. Two, did you get any word of or any notice of anybody recognizing Nyala?
Niall is safe.
Like how safe?
She's with Bianca,
Oh, good.
the head of my
cool.
order.
Guys, we sent you in a recon mission, and you just went ahead and solved the whole problem.
Well, we didn't solve the
Not
whole problem yet. The
I-
bishop's still
not
alive.
80% of the problem.
Yeah. We stopped child sacrifice.
Yes. Slowed down child sacrifice and whatever it is they're doing with the chalk. Adam knows about teleportation circles and stuff like that. Turpin would not.
Well, you see now he's kind of looking over the side of the building, and you can see where some of the temple is still burning. It's not great. It's not the main central platform. It's like the exterior behind it. A lot of the central area is marble, and that does not burn very well.
No.
And so a lot of
Surprisingly.
a lot of the structuring and scaffolding behind the temple to be used for any special effects during the sermon, that's not going to be available for a little while here. And so, but one of the things that you do see is there is a pen of lambs that actually gets moved quickly to avoid the burning. It seems as though it was not actually child sacrifice, but real lambs that they were going to sacrifice.
Oh,
But
Okay.
either way, you know that there were nefarious intentions for the children, that he probably
Yes.
didn't want to kill them. He had other things
Yes.
in mind. Either way, it created enough of a distraction that allowed you guys to do this. And
We may have jumped to conclusions a bit, but in the end, it was a good.
you
it
still
was a
got
good
the job
plan.
done. You still
It
got the
worked
job
out.
done.
It worked out.
The girl
I was
is
gonna
safe.
say that it was like this was gonna be really dark even for you, Brendan.
Not exactly what I was going for.
Wait.
Not exactly what I was going for.
Well, you drop sacrifice and
Still
then you
dark.
start hurting
All of a sudden,
Still dark.
Brendan. All of a
Lance.
sudden, Brendan's
Oh
like,
yeah.
"You guys know who Molech is?"
Wow. Yeah. No, we're not going to do that.
No.
I like suspense and tension and drama, but that's a bit much
You
for right now.
created a lot in me. I was like, oh gosh.
Nah, no. That's not what we're going for tonight. Not what we're going for.
All right.
Yeah, you guys are only level 4. Give me time.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right.
good
Now you got to
boy.
be high. You got to be higher level for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Who wants to go to the abyss?
okay. So, either way, Uladar is able to get you down off the roofs and kind of changes up the route and eventually takes you off to the side and helps you to rappel down into the farming district of Castle Dusk.
Nice. Okay.
So, eventually you are able to reunite at Castle Dusk, which
Nice. Okay.
now we can shift over the focus and the lens onto the other three. So,
Ah, jeez.
Getting back now to the Temple of Dusk, Timaeus, Elias, Charlatan, and Cal, all three of you, plus Beatrice and Julia Lynn and her son, you make it now to the temple, and there, waiting for you, are, or rather, you take the Chumas actually to this point, and as you're there, several of the Templar are waiting for you and say, "Yes, we were told that we were told to come and meet you. The High Priestess actually has some business to attend to."
Awesome. We
Very
appreciate it.
Yes,
Well, we'll leave them with you as we continue our mission.
very well. Come back for them when you need them.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I look at Julia Lynn and say, "You're going to be okay here. We'll be back soon."
Thank you.
That Temple of Dawn guy is crazy, but he wouldn't do anything weird like child sacrifice.
Yeah, that'd be too much.
Either way,
I mean,
the
who would think
Templar
that?
the Templar leads you off to the side and says, "We have been told to negotiate some sort of truce to allow you to pass over and have communications with Eliza Fairchild. Now, this was hard bought. Don't screw it up."
We will do our best not to.
We will be under a flag of parley or something like that.
That is the assumption as of right now. So, be careful.
No weapons. No.
I don't believe that was in the contract, but
Okay.
I wouldn't draw them if I were you.
I
as far as
don't
I'm unarmed.
want to. I really want us all to get along.
Excellent.
I think it would be good for everyone if nobody was fighting.
So, as you begin to walk, Chumas in hand, not riding them, you get up to the demilitarized zone, I guess we can call it.
DMZ.
Yep.
As you get up to that point, you can see actually there is a large group of Chuma riders that are making their way towards you. And you see these Chumas are barded. They are straight armored. And there are mercenaries riding on them. And they have the symbol of a blazing sun that is fashioned on their armor. You get the sense that it's not religious iconography. It's
Okay.
more so just, mercenary logo
Gotcha.
kind of deal. And they ride up, and there, stepping off to the side, you see, or rather, stepping off and creating kind of an opening, there is a platform that has been hauled by 4 Chuma, and sitting on top of it is the half-elven female, Eliza Fairchild, who sees you ready to cross into her territory and says, "Come, let us have words. I hear you have a proposal for me."
Yes. Well, I appreciate you coming to meet us in this time.
This is unprecedented. I am not sure whether to believe you or have you run through on the spot, so please choose your words carefully, as you have my attention, my ear. I have not spared you to be betrayed by you now.
We do not wish or come in any form of deceit. We only seek to try and reunify sections of the city so that we might all prosper. As you can tell, we've already brokered a truce in between the Lady Stewart and the Temple of Dusk, and we wish and think that you would be a very powerful ally and bring much to the table in terms of both capabilities, knowledge, wealth, and understanding.
Let us ride. Keep a perimeter from me. I wish to have confidence in my conversation. And she kind of, again, the Chumas kind of circle around and begin to turn and begin moving back, and she invites you up onto the platform next to her. There are guards that are posted towards the back, and they are swords drawn, holding on. And she's not a fool. But as she sits there...
Go ahead.
No, you. Go ahead.
So Cal's stance is very relaxed. He's putting there's zero intimidation factor happening here. He's
Sure.
trying to put her at ease.
Okay. Well, as you sit, the Chumas are kind of taken by some of the mercenary and taken off to the side. You can see they're not leading them away, but kind of just keeping them for you so that they can ride and move you into the farm district just a little bit more. You, as you begin riding, you can see a lot of the knoll corpses here too, and some of the burn and char within some of the crop. She says, I'm not going to lie to you. This alliance that you speak of, the two of you have signed some sort of treaty right on my doorstep. Two factions that I can scarcely ignore. What's in it for me?
Well, I'm sure you can imagine being a lady merchant yourself of the amount of wealth and power that you could generate for yourself, being in control of the Dusk Fair in a time where there are two factions at the front lines actively trying to fight off the murder of Woes.
This murder of Woes that I'm hearing about, I share a small border with them, but it is small indeed.
In order to try and gain your confidence, here are several documents that we found since the trial that prove and uncover more of the conspiracy that we hinted at during the trial, and that...
She takes the book as you're offering it out and begins to flip through.
And that Andrew Kane himself is the one that seems to be manipulating everything from behind the scenes.
I'll be. As the dawn is long. Interesting. You see, she reaches over and grabs a glass. You know, she's somewhat more heavy set and begins to pour herself a glass of wine. Begins to take a long. I mean, she's poured a very hearty amount.
I don't blame her.
She pours.
There's a lot
she
going
pours
on.
and drinks deeply and says, "I find it interesting that all of this comes from the very person who warned us that these things could happen. What am I to make of this?"
I make that he saw blatant corruption in lots of spaces and wished to rid the city of it in his own way, which I don't believe is the correct way.
Corruption that I am
greed,
part of.
potentially.
She kind of gives like a very sarcastic nod and smile. She didn't like that all that much. What do you think?
I think that you're a merchant. A charlatan? Say?
Elias says,
Elias? Oops.
that's fine.
He would have been looking like Elias, so
Yeah, and I would have said Elias.
yeah, I know. You're fine.
Elias says, I don't think you really have much of a choice, if you think about it.
And why is that, holy man?
Well, I might be a simple cleric, as you say, but I can do basic arithmetic. You have what you have. What you have is the aqueduct and the Dusk Fair. That puts you as one of the most powerful sections of the city, and you at its head. The way I see it, alliances are forming with or without you. Not to mention the one we're sharing with you and inviting you to join. I wonder what alliances Andric is making. But let's say, for sake of argument, that you don't join with Andric or us. When it's all said and done, who do you think will let you keep what you have? The Lady Stewart, who's enjoyed your faithful service to the city for years now, or the one that wants to burn it all down?
Roll persuasion with advantage because Cal attempted to help you a little bit.
And that was well said.
Especially the last line.
Persuasion. Persuasion with advantage, you said.
Advantage.
18.
18. She takes the wine and swirls a little bit, takes a drink, sets it to the side, and opens up a small box and pulls 3 more glasses, sets them, and pulls another bottle and begins to pour wine for all of you.
I accept with a nod.
And if I'm to be on this winning side, I have certain things that I would like done.
Of course.
We expect.
Within
In
reason.
your terms.
Well, let me just say I am not thrilled to be working in close ties with Twyla Shadowhand. But that is neither here nor there, because I care not what she has claim over. I am very interested in my reach over the Dusk Mines. You saw how terribly mismanaged they were, firsthand, from what I hear. They need to come under new management. I would like your full support, politically, to buying them, forcing the hands of the dwarves, that we might be able to oust their rule and control over them and bring them into the Duskfair proper. Less middleman that way, don't you think?
I think that could be true.
We have already suspected and have seen evidence to suggest that not only are the Dusk Mines mismanaged, but they are complicit in this little scheme.
Very well.
So I don't see why
That
the
could not
Lady
be.
Stewart would not at least consider this such an offer.
Roll insight check for me.
All right. Oh, it was a
18.
natural 20, and then it turned into a 14. So I had 14 total.
Ooh. Well, the two of you pick up on something.
Ooh, she rolled low.
She did roll low. You remember back to all of the whisperings that took place between her and the dwarf in charge of the Dusk Mines. And you recall the giggling that took place between the two of them. You remember also the rumors that the two of them were already in a pretty mutually beneficial financial relationship with each other. She might be setting you up. If you're willing to sell out her friend, you might be willing to sell her out too.
I will say, however, I don't quite understand why you, of all people, would want the control of the Dusk Mines.
For reasons that we've already discussed. Obviously, if you almost had a fatal encounter in them, gnolls have been kept inside of them. It's been the means by which we've seen their rotten plague spread throughout the city, attacking our farms.
Yes,
Clearly, they are not to be trusted.
but my fair lady, if I might remind you, the first place we encountered this threat was not in the Dusk Mines. It was in the Dusk Fair.
She kind of purses her lips a little bit at that. Brought in by the eagles and hawks and falcons of much larger sizes, may I
Yes.
remind you.
I only mean to say that I was under the impression that you already had an arrangement with the Dusk Mines.
Broadered Silverpick might be many things. She takes a moment and looks as you're kind of peering in. She weighs something.
Do you have business dreams, Elias?
I am a simple cleric, a man of the people.
So no enterprising, no entrepreneurship in your future?
I come from a large family of entrepreneurs.
And it appeals to you, Cal?
Not particularly, but understand the desire of building an empire of oneself.
You're losing my interest. There is something incredibly fascinating about establishing such power, such a name, such a title for yourself. I don't know. I shall have to think on this. How about this? Surrender to me half of your claims, your mistress's claims to the farming district that she owns behind Castle Dusk, and I will sign on to your alliance.
Half.
We will leave the dwarves where they are. That is my offer.
Can I insight check this to see if I can pick up any motives?
Yeah,
or...
me too.
Sure.
That's
I don't.
a big chunk.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll wait.
Man, I'm rolling insight like garbage tonight. 8.
23.
23.
Okay.
You can see that Elias's pickup on her relationship with Silverpick, it kind of jostled her and she kind of had to reposition for a second, but shrewd as she is, she wasn't lying to you. She needs more food. This would be her bargaining chip to have her borders extend.
And these are the ones behind Temple Dusk that she specifically, or
no, the ones where, well, here I can just reshare.
yeah, I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Behind Castle Dusk, right?
Who do we have
Behind
to...
Castle Dusk.
Yeah.
Okay, so she wants access.
She
to like
wants like that much of the farms added to her
Okay.
reach,
Man,
her direct
That's-
influence.
That's a lot.
I mean,
that would make
it is
yeah.
it is a lot, but at the same time, if we're all allies, in
And she's
theory,
got a bigger district.
Yep.
yeah, she does have significantly more people to feed. I don't think that's an unreasonable term.
Well, ma'am, do you remember when we talked earlier that we have uncovered maps that show the movements of the gnolls that plagued your farming district here?
Yes, you mentioned such things.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would just think that you would be concerned without an alliance of having more of these gnolls enter your domain without allies to help you. I'm not sure that for
We are
like
also on the aqueduct side.
true.
Most wild things that approach the aqueduct, they end up not being much threat. That's why the Duskside Battalion was placed where it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you're their allies?
I have been in talks with Dane Kettadir.
Interesting. Well, then maybe you don't.
He
need
has a
us.
rather
Yeah.
nasty poaching habit that I might be able to itch.
Okay. Well, maybe you don't need us, and you know the gnolls. I'm sure you can handle them if they happen to. You're right. A light and self-interest means that we all have to go our own way. We have an empire to build, and we've learned quite a bit of the secrets of the city, and we wish you well. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sure the trade will be bountiful with the theater district, and that
Temple Dusk and the
Yeah.
castle itself.
well, no, I mean they have a narrow passageway from the theater district right in here. That would be a wonderful pathway of, you know, and of course, if we weren't allies, we couldn't interfere if we saw anybody going in there. So, but you know, you are I'm sure you have your alliances in order, and we just thought you'd like the income. This is a great opportunity to build some.
Not to mention,
Yeah.
if you become a part of the alliance that wins back the city, the amount of power and prestige that will buy you with the people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she poured 3 glasses of wine, correct?
4.
One for herself.
One for herself and one for each of you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So I'm gonna lean forward, and I'm gonna take all 3 glasses,
Mhm.
and I say, perhaps an illustration.
Hmm.
Each one of these glasses, independent, by themselves, they're one among many, each with their own resources. Notice, this one has more wine in it than this one, even more than this one. So how then do we consolidate when there's so little to be shared among 3? When instead they become one. And then I'm going to pick up the 2 glasses on either side and pour them both into the single glass in the center. You might be thinking, why would I want to be wine mixed with other wine? And you're right. What if you weren't the wine? And I push it forward towards her. What if you were the glass?
Interesting. Do you know Enodegaron?
Do I?
So she just dropped the name of the leader of the Enodians, one of the Enya Arcanum,
Oh, so Cal
one of the
does.
top Enya Arcanists.
And Jeff does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar.
He's told me something similar once. He said that if one is to be a goldfish or a bowl, one is obviously superior. Interesting.
She takes the glass of wine and begins to drink and drink and drink and drinks the entirety of it and places it back down. And the wine kind of dribbles down her chin. She doesn't pay much attention to it. But she says,
You tell that Lady Janelle that I'm considering her offer. Cut me a third of the farm district, and we have a bargain.
You are wise beyond your years, my lady.
We'll relay your message immediately, and I expect that you will have news from maybe not us in particular, but messengers of the steward.
I shall expect some wine from her stores.
I believe that would be an easy request. Acquiesce.
And tell her that I want her to surprise me. Don't bore me with anything.
I'm sure that she understands someone of your refined tastes much more than some of them.
We'll guarantee there's
As
something
she
you find in
should.
your wine. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry. Sorry.
either way, she kind of says, stop here, and lets you off to mount your chumas, and says, here. She takes and scrawls a note, takes a little, she opens up another little compartment, pours hot wax onto the bottom of the document and takes out a press, seals the hot wax, takes it out, raises it, blows on it, and hands it to you. And you can see the tipped scales icon of the Dusk Fair. And with her seal, her signature, saying that you are to be given free charter as agents of the steward back to Castle Dusklands, and that a potential alliance is to be had.
Oh,
Awesome.
sweet rite of passage. That's awesome. Okay. All right, man.
So, as the two groups eventually reconvene at some 6 in the morning.
Yeah, as
Now-
we're riding back, do we see the temple on fire?
You can see smoke.
I see the recon is going well.
As my father always told me, where there's smoke, there's fire.
No, where there's smoke, there's turpin.
Either
I smell
way.
brimstone.
Where as the two groups eventually do reconvene back into one, there in the Castle Dusk courtyard, Lady Janelle is there ready to receive you and hears of the offer, the exchange. You fill her in, get her up to speed, and she relieves you for the evening to head down into the steward's guest chambers, at which point your heads hit the pillow and you begin to slumber, and that is
Get
where
some
we're going
spells.
to call
Get some
this.
spell
I was
slots
gonna say,
back.
don't skip out on the reunion of Nyala and her mom, though.
Well, but
well,
she's in the
she's-
safe house.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's still up there.
And Julia Lynn.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Julia Lynn is in the Temple
Temple
Dusk.
Dusk.
Okay. She's
So-
Temple Dusk. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
she's
right.
Still.
It hasn't happened yet.
That
Not
haven't happened
yet.
yet. I
Not
was
yet.
But
looking
we're
forward to that.
hoping
Guys,
we
you
can
guys
trust
nailed-
you in the dark.
You guys,
That was fun.
You guys nailed that though. That was great. that was some Batman and Robin type stuff that you guys got up to up there. That was sweet.
It worked
Shenanigans.
out well.
Oh boy. All right. Well,
Bonfire of Kywind. Yeah. Anyway.
yeah, that's
From
right.
the
That's
vanities.
right.
Yeah.
The
Vanities.
The city sleeps in flames. Thank you so much for joining us in this session. Session 9 under wraps. Holy smokes. We love you. We are for you. And don't worry, we will save you a spot around the fire. We'll see you next time.